Miss momentarily. What's up, everybody? It's good to see you guys. Deanna is here. Hi, Deanna. Bobo is here. Erica is here. Oh, scientist is here. This is awesome. What's up, guys? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going, eh? Angela will be with us momentarily. How's everybody doing? Nice, kind of calm day. Heard this like I'm gonna get Angela to speak to this a little more because she got into more than I did, but she was listening to some astrology today. In March, this astrologer says in March, we haven't done any kind of horoscopes for March or anything, but this astrologer did, and they said that in March something major is gonna happen, like potentially like politically, and like who knows, whatever. I haven't actually looked at the charts. But, dude, wait, what did we hear? Ryder says, dudes, have you heard? Tell us. Tell us. Tell us. I got a little dog crying if you hear grunting in the background. Ryder's got some news. Break it. I'm sitting here with bated breath, bro. Well, I'll take a sip of tea while we wait. Just declared only 2 messages were privileged. Whose? That is exciting sounding. I'm dying to know this. I will update my Just declared only 2 messages. Oh, Angela. Look who the cat dragged in.
So you finally decided to show
Look who the cat dragged in. I'm sitting here like...
Surprised you're out of bed.
Worst start to a live ever. Thanks, Angela.
Thanks for nothing.
Thanks, Angela.
I am the lifeblood of this program. Don't you forget it.
Program. Scroll back up.
I'm asking for a raise.
I got to scroll back up. Excitement. Lyman ruled 38 docs listed in privilege log are not privileged after in-camera review.
Big surprise.
They have to be released.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Docs by who? From who?
I don't know. I'm trying to find this because I did not see it. Oh, right here.
It's a ruling on who, though?
In-camera review order. This just dropped an hour ago. See, I'm already making thumbnails and, saying my prayers.
Lord?
Lord, Dale here.
If you could help me remember my train of thought tonight.
If you could just keep me on my train of thought long enough where I could finish a complete sentence, I'd be grateful. Lord. The plaintiff Blake Lively moves to compel the production of documents. So this is...
Oh, on the Wayfarer privilege logs. Wayfarer has to hand over the rest.
So it says, plaintiff Lively moves to compel the production of documents withheld by Wayfarer parties on the basis of privilege.
Oh, a scientist said most of them were voice notes from Jed. A scientist and Ritus are helping us out with the
Having
with
reviewed the
deets.
materials, the court finds that the following entries on the privilege log, and then number 1106, I do not qualify under the asserted privileges and therefore others orders them produced. Entries, and it's just all of them. 42, 44, 46, 52, 53, blah, blah,
Deanne
blah.
says it's Jed Wallace. A scientist said that they're voice notes from Jed, explaining how the work he actually does that is over and beyond monitoring. But, Jed Wallace already explained all this in his deposition when the lawyer's like, what specifically did you mean about all of this work that you were describing? And he was like, oh, it's puffery. I was just lying.
That's right, puffery.
I don't even have teams. I don't know what I was even saying.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm just straight up lying to my clients, is what Jed Wallace wants us to believe.
So this is so interesting to me because obviously, if there's no repercussion, then it has to be a lie, obviously. And
then it has to be perjury.
Right. And so how do you catch the guy for
so
perjuring himself?
You catch the guy in perjury if he can show a work product.
Delicate's here. What's up? I told you Ritus is here.
Yes.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. No, I've been reading Ritus's.
Christmas has come early for some of us. For some of us, certainly for Blake Lively in this situation, for sure. Well, I would just want to hear all of it. I want to see it all. I want to hear it all. Yeah, no long, fucking explanation or nothing. Just a like, I'm in a rush letter. Hey, no, you're going to give it to them. I looked at that. No. It's not privileged. These guys, bro, it's just going to be very interesting to see what happens. I'm sure it ends with lawsuits. It's just going to be like, he's such a bad judge. It's so interesting.
Oh, no, it's not that he's bad. It's he's biased or that he's bought.
What's so interesting is like you would think that they would want all of the evidence out like we do.
Oh, yeah. If you're innocent, you want everybody to know everything.
Well, obviously we're not party and neither are they. So like, why aren't they just like, yeah, show me that shit, bro. I've been rooting for you and I want to know what the fuck's been going on. Like, why aren't they curious? Like,
no, it is really strange.
If Blake Lively was holding shit back, I'd be like, yeah, what's up with Blake Lively holding shit back?
It is really strange that they're rooting for the guy who wants to conceal evidence. Andy Signor,
Right. Exactly that. Andy gets an extension and they're fucking setting off fireworks. It's like Bilbo's birthday party. Do you remember Bilbo's birthday party, Angela?
I wasn't there. I wasn't invited.
Well, you did.
I'm still a little upset about it because I thought that we were close, but I guess there was just not enough spots on the guest list. Something to do with, he explained it like the catering was expensive. Whatever. It's like, tell me how you really feel.
He also said, furthermore, 180 shall be produced except for the message at 1/13/2025 at 12:31:06 a.m. And 1/13/2025 at 12:35:30 a.m.
What are these numbers?
Which may be redacted.
What happened?
These are just he's allowing certain redactments, but he's not demanding them. He's saying maybe redacted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if the parties want it to be.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Entry 228 shall be produced from the message at 1/24/25, 12:39 p.m. on down. The preceding messages may be redacted.
Rita says it's tough winning so often. This is why I don't want to rub their noses in it too much because I feel so bad for the Baldoni supporters. If people are like genuinely think that he's innocent, then they really do deserve to celebrate the little wins that they get because there aren't going to be many.
I don't feel sorry for them one bit.
No.
And the reason, because I take some days off, but I engage with them daily. It's the same thing I did with Don's Plum when Don's Plum was getting smashed. And I won people over and I'm winning people over and it ends with lawsuits too. Some of them have come by and hung out. And I know we're winning people over because the truth is a very powerful, fucking force if you can keep presenting it. If no one's gonna, put their foot on your neck, right? And so, in Reddit or on Reddit, I don't get shut down. I get to speak.
It is really hard to overcome biases that people build, though. Like I've heard somebody say, okay, Blake Lively does have a case and she's probably going to win, but I still think she's a bad person.
So what?
No, I know.
Yeah.
But do you see what I'm saying? Like that person was not willing to let go of that assumption that they had made that had been built for them through the smear campaign.
Sure.
Like they were still clinging on to that understanding, even though that it was all part of the same facade that convinced them that Baldoni was in the right, Yeah,
obviously that person and people like that person, they have a really deranged way of looking at things. I've said it time and again on It Ends with Lawsuits in my conversation, which is you are blindly hating somebody you don't know. Mm-hmm. And hatred is, it's a potent thing, isn't it? And
well, that's why this whole thing is even existing.
So
because you can really manipulate people and use them for your purposes if you can instigate an emotional reaction from them. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
It's so weird that anybody, we don't have to care about celebrities. It's so weird that anybody's super upset.
Well, the one thing that celebrity does though, is that it brings stories that are important to the fore, but that wouldn't otherwise get brought to the fore, right? Like even mine, because the celebrity and fame is so lopsided in my story. I'm obviously way huger than Leo. Boom, boom, boom.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's so lopsided, it's really easy to keep me down. And Leo does a great job. Like I put a book out, you know, where he SAs a TV star and nobody's talking about it and nobody even knows about it. And that's all because of them. I lined up, you know, New York Magazine. You know, we had.
I think it's a little dangerous for you to frame it that way.
What do you mean?
You said where he SAs a movie star, a TV star. I mean.
Well, that could be the interpretation of it.
Yeah, but it's not your interpretation. So I think it's a little dicey for you to describe it that way. I just want you to stay safe. That's all. Because that's not what you're saying in your book. And it's not what you're, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, you know, I don't fear what I said, but you know, do I think what he did in my book is SA? I mean, it's got to be close.
I think the way that you tell the story makes it seem like you fully understand, and I don't think anybody could disagree that he does exploit one of his friends.
Yes.
Sexually for
Yes.
entertainment.
Yes.
And that is disgusting.
Sure.
But it doesn't rise to the criminality that you are alluding to if you say SA.
Right. Whatever the case, they have the ability to manage the press, right?
Mm-hmm.
So having the opportunity to be able to talk to people the way I'm able to in social media makes some interesting progress. Some people actually are like critical of me, and they're like, "Oh, dude, don't fucking argue with bots or these assholes or these idiots or whatever." But you're making a record, you know, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I know. I go back and forth about like whether it's a waste of time or whether it's, you know, the Lord's work.
I get years later after comments I've
It's
made
exhausting.
after comments I've made to people who were bashing me and bashing Don's Plum and being really shitty to me on Reddit. I will years later, after I'm sitting there going like, you remember kind of my standard reply back then was, you can hate me all you want. You can even believe that Leonardo DiCaprio is right and that I'm some kind of scumbag who took advantage of him.
Yeah.
Do you believe
Mm-hmm.
that with those things, that entitles him to punish everybody involved with the movie, take away everybody's work, take away everybody's opportunity to make money because he's mad at me because I did something bad?
Nobody could say that.
Nobody could say it.
Because
And
it's
so
just,
you make these records and they stay there for years, and years later people come back and like, I've had people come back and say, wow, dude, this aged well, or like these kinds of things.
No, it's true. I mean, like, here's the thing is like very early on when we started to try and, you know, free Don's Plum together on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I read it. I think it was like some marketing material or something, some advice somebody gave where they were like, okay, if you're in a battle and it's like David versus Goliath, right? This is probably like some PR expert or something wrote this.
Dale,
if you're Dale versus Goliath, okay, yes. and you're totally outmatched. This person has way more resources, has much more control over the public conversation. They have a much bigger public image that's harder to, you know, fight. Then you need to be able to make a moral argument, because moral arguments are the biggest, strongest arguments that you can make that will turn people against the person who has lost the moral argument and towards the person who is winning the moral argument. And I think that this is why that is such a strong message for people who are even like diehard fans of his and think he can do no wrong. It's like, can you justify his choice to destroy a movie and ruin the work of his peers, the actors that he was working alongside, and all of the cast and crew, and all of these people who were depending on this film for, you know, to make money off of their hard work, just because he has personal beef with you? Like, no, only an immoral person would do that sort of thing. It's so careless. It's reckless, and it's harmful to a bunch of other people that weren't even involved. And nobody would say that that's a good choice when he had like every other option, because he has all the resources and he's such a big, you know, big power player. Like, he could have done anything else. He could have sued you personally for 20 years, you know,
or just
he could have completely buried you personally.
Right.
But
me and RD
stopping the film was not the moral choice.
He could have made sure that we spent all of our money defending ourselves, because he wants, you know, and who knows, like whatever there were alternatives. And I guess, you know, well, let me see something here. Anyway, we've kind of like taken over the,
We've taken over.
Yeah, we've shuttered the great,
We're the bosses around here.
The great celebration. Hell no, we ain't. Hell no, we ain't. It's a great day for Blake Lively. I'm excited for this. I can't wait to read this stuff.
Mhm.
I can't wait to see. Well, I'll tell you how it ends with lawsuits is handling it tomorrow, because I'll certainly jump in tonight and tomorrow morning, and I still have like 12 or 13 responses that I haven't yet bothered with from 2 days ago, because like I went after it. I keep doing the same shit like with people. I'm like, you need to provide some proof right now. I'll wait. They never ever come back with.
No,
they say
sure.
things. They make statements. They're definitive statements. They state them as facts, and then I say you need to provide proof. And then of course when they ask me to, I do. So it becomes this like perfect.
Allow me to quote the judge.
Dude, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. It is. It's fucking hilarious.
So Deanne said that another thing came out today. This is just basically scheduling stuff. Deanne, this is very helpful. Also, settlement conferences have been ordered.
They always are.
In January and February for both cases. Jones is first, and then Wayfair parties with Lively.
Yeah, it's standard. We got ordered into it.
The judge can make you sit and try to settle, even though if neither of you are interested, right? It's funny.
They require an attempt to reconcile their differences before putting the burden to the people. Yeah.
Mateo said that Jonah Hill was actually quite disturbed by DiCaprio's physically hitting him for months on the set of Wolf of Wall Street.
We never see them hanging out. I mean, they're all adult men, so it's like understandable. I mean, I wouldn't be hanging out with anybody either, but yeah, they were pretty chummy at one point. I think I bet Jonah Hill didn't know that Leo was taking down $36 million worth of money and goods to star in Wolf of Wall Street while he was getting $60K. And at the time, an Academy Award nominated actor himself.
Oh, he was? What for?
Moneyball.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. I feel like I've never watched a movie he's in. Maybe one of those comedies. Have you?
Yeah, I've seen Superbad, of course,
Mm-hmm.
which I loved. I've seen a few. I didn't see Moneyball, oddly enough. I want to see it. Brad Pitt kind of turns me off a bit,
Yeah, he turned out to be a baddie.
This stuff with his kids really got to me.
Yeah,
And he's just
totally,
like,
I know.
he just like, he's one of those celebrities where I'm just like, damn it, man. I mean, he just started rubbing me the wrong way. In the same way like Tom Cruise. I used to see everything that guy did. Everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a lesson in pedestals, Like,
yeah.
Why do we ever admire any of these
It's
people?
the effects of their lives. I mean, and sort of, the dirt that does come out on them. And it does suck. Like, I know that, like, look, it doesn't suck, if you're a celebrity and, you're caught doing shit, then it's going to affect some of your fan base. It's just the way it is. So,
I have a question for you.
A lot of fans are able to walk away from it. And I don't hold that against anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking love Brad Pitt to the ends of the earth. But for me, it's just like, I lived through a lot of the shit people accuse these guys of doing. And, I wouldn't support anybody knowingly that I know, like, has tormented their children to the extent that they would like go so viciously public about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, right. I feel like anybody who doesn't understand the sudden turn against Brad Pitt hasn't read those documents, the statements, the interviews that the authorities did with the kids.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
It's not good. And look, it's not my business, obviously. So it's not like it's just like, I can't get it out of my head. You know what I mean? It's just how it goes. It's like Roseanne Barr is what Roseanne Barr is. There was a time when I would watch her and laugh, like belly laugh. And now there's just like zero chance I would ever watch anything she's in, ever.
Yeah, it's true. It's not funny.
It's just not funny anymore. Because now I just realize like that, it would be like finding out Carol O'Connor was actually Archie Bunker. Like Archie Bunker was this great character. And he was this thing we laughed at, which was this like caricature of kind of what's wrong in America, in the white middle class world. And, well, actually in the proletariat, in the sort of, and if I found out that Carol O'Connor was actually Archie Bunker, I mean, that would just be a massive disappointment. Whereas like Carol Connor to me was the guy in, from In the Heat of the Night. And if you haven't seen that, they call me Mr. Tibbs. It's a brilliant fucking movie. That was one of my favorite lines. And it's a wonderful movie, and I would recommend it immediately. And obviously he was brilliant as Archie Bunker. And so it would be like horribly disappointing if he was any one of those. So when you hear this come out about, these guys, whomever it may be, in this case, it is Brad Pitt. Like, I'm sure he's a fine person to hang out with. I'm sure he's good to his friends. And, I'm sure there are people all over the world who absolutely love them some Brad Pitt in the way, personally. And that's cool.
Yeah. And I
just can't stop thinking about his kids.
I also think it's super important to like give people grace when they were super messy when they were addicted. Or if they were like, binge drinking or something. And some substances make people not themselves.
For sure.
And so I feel like there's a lot of grace we can lend to people because it's a very recognizable, it's an understandable and relatable situation where you're like, I fucked up and I recognize I fucked up and I've changed my lifestyle so that I won't fuck up again. But some of the things that he was alleged to have done is just really like, I don't know. Like there was like hours long.
Very cruel sounding.
It's just very like prolonged. And I just feel like my experiences with people who like get wasted and make mistakes, it's usually not, I don't know.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up because like and I know Brad Pitt, I haven't read it, but I did hear that he came out and he spoke about alcohol being the thing that made him the bad dad.
He's also been pretty dismissive about it too.
Yeah,
which is an issue.
Well, it's who wants to address it?
Not that I'm owed anything, but like I just feel like that says a lot about his character.
I don't know. I mean,
not that matters.
I don't know if it says a lot about his character in terms of like his desire to want to avoid, being confronted with the worst version of himself. I'm sure there's none of that he's proud of, or even if he's in denial of it or can defend it. Because it's still out there.
But that's what happens when you have a public image. Like you want to have a career where you're super famous. Then if you very famously have these horrible allegations where you're abusing children, it's just like you have to deal with that, right? So him being dismissive in an interview, it's like, okay, I know you want to put it behind you, but that's not really what you get to do when you have such a public image, right?
Yeah.
Like people want to know more about you. This is the trade-off.
Right. Do you want to do some chat now?
Yes.
Because there's been a lot of chat about the stuff. Let's talk about what's there. And then we'll get to Corey Haim. Corey Feldman, Corey Haim.
Oh, okay. This is interesting. Erica says, the judge, he's so biased, ! Obviously, he's in love with Blake or with Ryan, or they paid him off.
No. He's afraid of them.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
No, it is.
He's a federal judge.
He's simply cowering.
Yeah, because he lives in the same town.
They are almighty.
Yeah. A scientist said that there's one of the now newly unsealed pieces of evidence labeled as discussing Taylor Swift 11 days before the triple hearsay phone call allegedly happened.
Give me
what's
that
the triple
tea,
hearsay
please.
phone call?
I don't
know. That's interesting. Attacking Taylor Swift was always a plan from the start, and I'm really glad that they're able to show evidence about that.
It's going to be interesting if she answers in enter Taylor Swift. If there's definitive proof that they had anything to do with the Nazi stuff or whatever, I can't imagine she won't want to clear that up.
It would be so poetic. Such poetic justice, right? If she ended up becoming the fearsome dragon that he made her out to be at the beginning,
Yeah.
Because what do we do with dragons? We antagonize them.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
It's so stupid. You poke the dragon.
A scientist said, I finally escaped the lab.
Yes.
And I still imagine that being like accidentally a scientist ended up in a petri dish, right? And instead of being stored in safe cabinet or something, refrigerated where it's safe, she accidentally got pocketed in a lab coat and got carried out. And now the whole world is susceptible to infection.
You turned her into a contagion?
Yeah. All scientists finally escaped the lab.
I went with.
You don't say escaped unless you're a contagion
My
that needs to be
imagination-
isolated.
My imagination immediately went to that, she was exposed to something and then she was quarantined.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's escaped the lab.
Like those rhesus monkeys in that crashed truck.
Well, she's a human, but yes.
Is this mean? Am I being mean?
Yeah.
I think it's entertaining. When you say escape the lab, I'm like, ooh, what does it mean?
Yeah, no, it's way more fun to escape
Whatever
the
it
lab.
means, we're all in
No,
danger.
there's no escaping of the lab that doesn't like trigger for me.
Mhm.
Yeah, an absolute problem. A scientist escaped a lab. What? Oh, yes, it's bad. It's very bad.
And in reality, it's like food science or something really like
All these people in
normal.
all these people in full body suits are like headed toward her right now.
They're like,
choppers.
freeze. Put your hands up.
It's like the ET scene, when they got.
Oh
them.
yeah, totally. We're in the hazmat suits. Okay, well, I think we're safe because a scientist is just in the chat and not in this room.
Oh, the triple hearsay phone call where someone who knew someone. I love this. Yeah,
Which is it?
this is bullshit about this so-called phone call that occurred. That somebody who knew someone who knew this other person said that Lively told Swift to delete evidence.
Oh, okay.
Because that fucking Taylor Swift would want her. She is obviously the kind of person. She's a lot like Axl Rose this way,
What? Who?
Axl Rose.
No, but who is like
Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah, just like Axl.
She slips into like her Axl Rose mode where
Okay.
she just like is like defiant and wants to break laws, kick over amps, drink and smoke before concerts.
Mm-hmm. We all know this, right?
Yeah, this is just Taylor Swift's Axl Rose side. In the way that I come out, Alan comes out every occasion. It's probably Axl Rose that comes out of her, and then she
Yeah.
does things like delete
And
evidence.
she's like, "You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die."
Oh, look at me! I'm gonna delete some evidence, and then I'm gonna write a song called "Where's That Evidence?"
She likes her friends canceled after all. I like this idea of her having a alter ego that smashes shit.
Yeah.
She like trashes the hotel room. She's like, "Oops, it wasn't me. It was that other Taylor."
Sorry, Psh, I didn't assault you. She did.
It's just so bonkers too. I just couldn't believe that they started to come up with these stories about how Lively was extorting, like, say something nice about me, or I'm going to tell everybody about our text messages. Like, what? Who makes this up?
It's just
It's the most
so
outlandish
stupid.
idea.
It's just stupid on its face. Cosmic Energy said, "Did you see the plaques that Trump's putting up in the White House? Did you see these things?"
I did.
Yeah,
I
fuck
did.
this
You know
guy.
what's funny is that he's so long-winded. He really can't edit himself whatsoever.
No.
So sometimes they have two plaques because the plaques are all one size.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes he would say something else, and so they'd have to install a second plaque
Yeah.
with like a paragraph on it. Because
They were
he's
just running around
rambling.
the plaque department, just like, "What are we gonna do? It's double the size." Well,
That's so
maybe what if we
stupid.
just double the plaques?
But he wouldn't be edited, so they had to put two plaques. It's just messy.
So I did see the plaques, and Cosmic Energy said that he's going to vote for the person who promises to undo all the tacky mess that Trump has done with the White House.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
you can't undo him destroying that one wing.
No,
Uh,
you could just rebuild it, man.
Well, but all those people wouldn't have actually stood there that used to have stood there.
Yeah, it's okay. It can
like
just
Eleanor.
it can still be a restoration.
I got to share something with you. You know what? This just brings up this thing that I thought was really funny. And listen, I'm not saying anything or endorsing anything that I'm about to read. This is just me collecting things on the internet and sharing them with you guys because you guys are my friends. And we do that as friends. We just share things on the internet. In this case, I'm doing it on a live because that's how we communicate with you. But this is, so this is just that. I'm finding it, so it'll take a second here because it's in all these saved things that I have for you guys today. But, I can unsave that one. Spielberg was sent a 20-page letter from NASA. I still can't get over it. That's so
Do you get to read it?
crazy. He hasn't released it.
What? Well, then what's with the tease? Why would he say something like that and then
Well,
not
because
show it?
listen, why would they write a 20-page letter to Steven Spielberg to
I
stop
don't
a
know.
movie?
Maybe being like, "Hey, you're awesome. Can we be friends? What's your favorite color? Who's your favorite actor?
Don't make a movie about aliens.
Mine is the one that was in your last movie." Like, I don't know.
I bet you he's working with the state now. Telling you.
What?
Oh, I got this. I'm going to pop this one out while I'm on my way. Research shows that swearing, and I just tell you, this is how I get my exercise. Research shows that swearing can increase physical strength and endurance. It's
Swearing?
Yeah. Swearing improves strength
There you have it, folks.
through state disinhibition.
I'm not a potty mouth. I'm stronger than you.
No, I just work out. Richard Simmons bounced around and, did his thing, and I fucking
Well, I'm
swear.
sure Richard Simmons also did a lot of swearing. He seems like the type.
You're probably right. Where is this thing?
Or are you serious? You teased it without being able to.
I thought I could
find
grab it so quickly because I'm usually so good at this.
Okay, well, you're gonna.
I'm really
have
not
to,
that good at it.
You're gonna have to use the internet. What is it?
Oh, there it is. Good. It was the number 2 thing on my list, and I just went right past it. Oh! So this question was posed to Reddit. The question was, what do you expect 2026 major event will be? And I wanted to share with you the top voted comment.
Top voted. How many votes? How many upvotes did it get?
It has 24,400 upvotes.
Okay. Great. Let's hear it.
And this is
what you wish would happen in 2026.
This is what this very, very witty.
Is that what the question is, or what your predictions?
What do you expect 2026 major event to be?
Okay, great.
There's an old Soviet joke, wrote, to your crown. Every day, a man goes to the newsstand and he looks at the front page of the newspaper, and every day he scans the headlines, looks disappointed, and puts the newspaper back. One day, the stand owner says, "What are you always looking for that you don't seem to find?" And the man says, "An obituary." "Ah," said the store owner, "that's your problem. Obituaries, they aren't on the front page." And he said, "The one I'm looking for will be." I sucked.
And that's it?
That's
the
it.
whole comment?
That's the whole
and everybody upvoted it?
Yeah, that's the whole comment.
We're all looking for an obituary in 2026.
And there was an astrologer that you saw today,
yes,
who predicts some major political fall from one major political.
Okay, so
there's a lot of political figures poised to fall right now. You got Netanyahu over there, you got Trump over here, you got fucking Putin over there.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are all like walking on, living on borrowed time. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, should I? I don't know anything about, what they're living on.
Yeah, I don't know either.
The high life, I would guess.
The reason why is that, and this is also portends for very rocky astrology in the world,
Yeah.
But there are a lot of happenings in the house of Aries.
Yeah.
And there is also in March specifically
a fiery sign that can bring about very quick and very fierce change.
Yeah, well, Aries is also in mundane astrology, which is the type of astrology that talks about world events as opposed to like your own personality and your own life. So they call it mundane astrology. So it's the whole world. In mundane astrology, Aries stands for leaders, like prominent figures, solar figures, heads of state, leaders of any, big corporation.
Presidente.
Yes. So they're saying that there's big changes happening in the sign of Aries, but also the person that we're talking about.
And there's not even an election. So what does it mean?
The person that we're talking about, the head of this government, he was born on an eclipse. And when you're a person who was born on an eclipse, eclipses tend to figure very prominently throughout your life.
They do.
They tend to initiate big changes or sudden endings.
Yes.
Some things happen within the 6 weeks around an eclipse time.
And he's got a lunar.
Because he was born in one.
Mm-hmm.
And this eclipse in March happens to be in his 8th house, which traditionally in ancient astrology was the house that signifies death. Not your death, but just the topic of death, big transitions, secrets, all kinds of really like sort of esoteric, hidden, kind of dark topics. Okay. Which is interesting. So he's got an eclipse happening in that house. And that eclipse is exactly making a square angle, which is a 90-degree angle from that eclipse to his natal sun and his natal moon. Because he was born on an eclipse, so they're opposite.
Shit's cooking.
And those are the planets that tend to figure prominently in somebody, that signify somebody's body, somebody's vitality.
There's a Mars.
There's a lot of people who are reading into it as being like, oh, March
It could be
seems to
major.
be significant
Yeah.
in this person's chart.
We'll see what happens. It obviously is. We just don't know what the significance is. I mean, it could be something that happens in a room that nobody ever hears about, or it could be something so major that it reshapes the world. I'm not telling you what I'm hoping for. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit dicey. Like, so, okay, the astrologer also said, like, the reading that it was Chani Nicholas is who I heard today. If you guys want to go to her channel and listen to what she said, but she was talking about how the first 2 weeks of January are kind of like where you should really try and get things done, because the rest of the late winter and early spring are going to be really sort of volatile.
Yeah,
like it's not going to be good astrology to, like, effectively take care of business. It's going to be kind of like up in the air, roller coaster shit. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it could be like we get what to many people they would consider good news in a time of like real upheaval. So I don't know. Hopefully it'll just be like everything's normal and nothing is any more weird than it has been, because this last year of astrology was supposed to be really bonkers too. And for a lot of people it was, but the sky didn't fall.
Cosmic. Oh yeah. Well, so I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm riveted. I'll be watching the stars and the news all at the same time. I'm excited for it all. We'll see what happens. Did I tell our friends about this guy who ate at the same Florida restaurant every day for a decade? Did we have that shot?
Yes.
Okay, we did. I wanted to make sure.
Oh, no. You told me. I don't know if you told it here.
I don't think I told this story.
I don't think so either.
There's a couple, we know the Bondi shooting, right?
I don't think that you did say it.
And that hero, Ahmed
Al-Ahmed, I think is his name.
Ahmed Al-Ahmed in Australia, a Muslim man, which is just, this is so great. I mean,
he's being praised as a hero.
Yeah, it's so great. Well, he is a hero. He risked his own life. These men were actively shooting and killing people in Australia. This man takes this dude down. We all saw the video. It's fucking amazing. It's exciting as hell, because it's just like goodness, greatness happening in a moment. A split second, somebody gets to decide to be, a hero, or, to protect themselves. And they did the right thing. The right thing. I
saw this guy.
I look at it as that. I mean, if you're capable of it.
There was a guy who was at the event. It was apparently a Jewish event in Australia that this happened.
Yeah.
So
this is why it's so great.
There was a guy who he was being interviewed, and it was obviously so publicized. Like I never hear any news from Australia, but I saw this on my feed. But he was a guy, he was Jewish, and he was wearing a yarmulke in the video, and he was talking about how he considers this guy Ahmed to be his Muslim brother, because he was such a hero and he saved his family and his community and everything. I was like, this is what we need. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. This is like it's the saddest thing in the world, but that it was able to resolve in this way is so great. And there's this now video going around because some dude, some kind of influencer or something, flew to Australia, I presume, showed up in the man's hotel room to present him with a check for $2.5 million. That was people, whatever it was, 43,000 people or whatever contributed to $2.3 or $2.5 million. And the first words out of his mouth was, "I deserve it."
And I love that for him.
I'll take that. He's sitting there like all fucking bound up in bandages and shit. Yeah, and he's going to make a full recovery, but he's like, he doesn't even seem traumatized, which is, you can't tell. And especially, it usually takes so much time before trauma really presents itself. Unless, it's, I mean, not always, but that's sometimes the case at least. Fucking incredible.
So that wasn't the story that you were going to tell, though, was it?
I already did. Story I was going to tell?
Yeah. Yeah,
oh,
you had told.
That's right.
Yeah,
I got diverted. What was that? Okay. Well, we went down. You got all into it. Like
you told me a story that you hadn't shared here, and I wanted you to.
Oh, right. Okay. So a man, listen to this. A man ate at a Florida restaurant every day for a decade, and when he stopped showing up, the chef went looking for him. It's this great fucking article. All right. So this is on CBS News.
It's like small town Florida, right?
It's like, yeah. This is
like this like old.
Yeah, it's like small town Florida.
This old diner, and this old man is like a regular customer, shows up every single day.
Right.
And then one day he didn't, and everyone was like, something's wrong.
At the Shrimp Basket restaurant in Pensacola, Florida, one customer has been a constant presence. For lunch, he always orders a cup of gumbo, light on rice, and asks to hold the cracker. He also puts on the same order. He always puts in the same order again and again and again. Charlie Hicks, 78. So this has been going on for 10 years. He didn't show up.
He's a 78-year-old man.
78-year-old man. He didn't show up. The fucking owner's like, where the fuck is Charlie? So he goes to Charlie's house. He knocks on the door. No one answers. He's going to walk away because he's like, I don't know, where the fuck is Charlie? And then he hears a faint help from behind the fucking door. Calls 911. They get in there. Charlie's dying. Charlie had a bad fall and Charlie was dying. So they put him on a stretcher, cart his ass to the fucking hospital, put Humpty Dumpty back together again. And what does the fucking owner of this restaurant do? Moves him out of the apartment that's away from his restaurant that he would go to every day. Puts him up in a whole new apartment next to the restaurant so that this guy would not have to walk very far and so that they could check on him if they don't hear from him on a regular basis. He refurnished the apartment with all the fucking, appliances he needs so that he's not dependent on just eating shrimp. And it's this really fucking beautiful, heartwarming story. It's this black dude who owns this thing, and it's an old white dude. So you have this like Muslim Jew thing, and now you have this like old white boomer getting all this incredible love and friendship and caring from this black business owner. It's just a wonderful thing. It's just like this. It's just a fucking lighthearted, like, yeah, kind of, in the darkness is some light, and it's just really beautiful.
I love stories like this, man. Because, we are our brother's keeper, right? Like, isn't that's a saying? Like, I'm not my brother's keeper. Was that biblical?
I don't know.
That's got to be the Bible.
I've heard it before, but I don't know what it's from.
But I just love the attitude where you're like, no, fuck that. I am in charge of making sure my neighbors are cool. Safe,
right. So that was a cool story that I thought I would share with you guys. I wasn't sure. Because I told you, I wasn't sure if we'd actually brought it to the
no, because
it is from the Bible, Genesis 4:9.
Is it?
Yeah.
How does it go?
I am not my brother's keeper is how it goes.
Well,
I am not in charge of his life or fate. There's another
wrong. Well, that's wrong.
James,
and it has been for centuries.
So Corey Haim, guys.
Corey Haim. What happened to him? Is he okay?
This is getting like, he's come out now and he said that he was molested by, Corey Feldman has come out saying that he was molested by Corey Haim. Is that possible? Can you be molested by somebody who's basically your same age?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like you can call it that.
Can you?
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I don't know that he did, but
I think it's just how you call it. It's not like I think in some states it's actually like a legal term that has a definition. But I mean, I don't know what good it does to nitpick his words. You know what he means, right?
It was curious for me. It got a little curious. I was like, it's a curious word to use with a guy that's your same age, like exact same age. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of a perpetrator coming in at the same age as the victim in like a molestation allegation. I'm not saying it doesn't. That's why I'm asking curiously, not like, with any kind of.
What was the context for this revelation?
I don't know, man. He's just doing an interview or something. And he says, he said, Corey Feldman claims late actor Corey Haim molested him while the pair were shooting Lost Boys. Corey Feldman alleged that his friend and late co-star Corey Haim molested him. That's a quote. Molested is in quotes from a new documentary about his life. Oh, yeah. So there's this documentary that this is like the second documentary on his life.
Okay.
He's like a documentarian of his own self now. He's just like, it's really interesting. Feldman, who starred with Haim in several films in the 80s and 90s, including Lost Boys, License to Drive, Dream a Little Dream, and Blown Away, reportedly made the claims in Marcy Hume's new documentary focusing on his career in music called Corey Feldman versus the World, released on Apple TV on December 11th.
Oh, so we can watch it.
If we want to. The Goonies actor 54 recalled the incident, which allegedly occurred on their first movie together in the documentary, saying that when we did Lost Boys, he said to me, "Hey man, let's mess around." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, he said that Haim, who died in 2010 at the age of 38, told him, "This is what guys in the business do, right? You
Yikes,
suck each
bro.
other's, D's." So this is the quote.
Content warnings.
Or, you fuck around, you do stuff.
Uh,
And I said, what are you talking about? And he said, well, Charlie Sheen told me it was okay.
oh, so this is
what Charlie Sheen was talking about, I guess, in part, because we knew Charlie Sheen was being dragged into it.
yeah, right.
Feldman claimed appearing to repeat previous allegations that he made in 2020 documentary My Truth, the rape of the two Coreys, and that the actor sexually assaulted Haim, which Sheen, a rep for Sheen, previously told People in a statement in 2020, "These are sick and twisted and outlandish allegations that never occurred, period." Haim's mother, Judy, also alleged that it wasn't Sheen, but actor Dominic Brasca.
Oh, wow.
Brascia? I don't know how to say that name. I don't even know who that is. Who died in 2018
That's
at the age of
fucked up,
61,
man.
who abused her son on the Dr. Oz show in 2017.
It does make me uncomfortable that it's like these people experienced trauma when they were at work as children, and now it's like it passes off as like gossip, and I don't know. It seems too serious to comment on because obviously it's like super heavy. I don't know what happened to him. I'm not sure. Like, I'm sure that it feels liberating to speak about it for him. I don't know whether it's true or not. I mean, unfortunately, nobody can do an investigation.
I mean, this sounds like a dude hitting on another dude.
He's not asking anybody to conduct an investigation, right?
Yeah. I don't
So,
know.
like-
Nobody's, if the allegation, if he's alleging that he was molested, which it doesn't seem like, I don't know how far he goes into this here. In terms of the actual allegation.
I just feel like the thing about Corey Feldman is that he is very clearly on a process of healing and it's very messy. And I always just feel like anytime that we see him being messy and everybody wants to poke fun at him, it's just kind of like cruel. But he's making a spectacle of himself constantly, which I understand is like part of his process. I don't know. He just seems like such a mess. So I just don't. I feel more pity for him than I feel like
for Feldman.
Yes, more than anything else, because he's obviously damaged and he's obviously working through it. And I think he feels like he's succeeding, and that's good. Like he loves this music thing, even though he's terrible at it. And like, good for him.
God.
Like go for it, bro. Like we should all have the room in our life to create bad art. That's like part of the human experience. But this whole thing where he's like making these like explosive revelations, he obviously feels like he needs to because of some sort of healing journey he's on. That and it just feels like it's very private. Everything that he's doing seems like it should be more private than it is because it's reaching me. So I feel uncomfortable with the information. Like I know entirely too much about Corey Feldman than I should.
And Corey Haim for them.
And everybody's gossiping about it like it's all like fair game. Like this has all just been served to us at
it's
the
a
cafeteria of
documentary, right?
public discourse.
Yeah, I mean it's a film. I mean, what are you supposed to do with that? You talk about films.
Yeah, he's putting it out there for people to talk about, obviously. Yeah. But I just don't. I don't feel like that.
It's less gossip.
It's like if you believe him, then gossiping about what he went through and the traumatic experiences he had doesn't help him. If you don't believe him, then gossiping about what he's claiming doesn't help the people he's lying about. So it's like either way, it's like our involvement in this story is kind of like.
Well, let me finish what he said here because that'll give us some clarity to it anyway, just to maybe lighten the darkness this kind of allegation makes. But it is disturbing that he's just, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what he's accomplishing.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so this is the part that bothers me about it is
are you being guided, bro?
What is the accomplishment here, right?
Yeah.
Like,
are you gonna
it'd be
feel
one
better?
thing if you're like outing the guy not dead, you know what I mean? But outing a dead guy who's, I don't know, it's just...
Well, if it's what happened to him, then it's his story. He gets to tell it however he wants to.
I understand that. I get that. Memoirs and all that stuff. I wrote one. Feldman went on to say in his documentary that he set up a meeting between him and Haim, despite knowing what the latter wanted from the meeting. He recalled per Variety, "I called Haim and I said, come over. But when you have got somebody that's trying to come onto you sexually and you don't want that and you are a kid and you are scared, You do whatever you can to stop it from happening. And that's what was happening. I was being molested by Corey Haim, truth be told, he said.
It's fucking dark, dude.
So, yeah. Yeah. You know, I don't know. Okay, let's just do this. What year was Lost Boys filmed? 1987.
1900. Oh my God. Don't do that. 1987.
So it was back in 1987. The boys were 16 years old.
I feel ancient. Oh my God.
The boys were 16 years old. This sounds to me like a couple of guys experimenting, even if one wasn't sure whether he should be or if he even really wanted to.
It happens across every high school in the nation.
That's what this sounds like. This does not sound like Corey Haim doing anything other than if the story's true, and there's no reason not to believe him. If the story's true, what I read here seems more like it was like, yo, all right. I got some vodka. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're 16 or whatever, you know? I remember when we went to Denmark, we were talking to a guy named Morten Fisker. And Morten, who drove this super old giant Mercedes-Benz, said that, I don't know how the topic came up, don't ask, but somehow the topic ended up on the whole liberal, the like sort of liberal, sexual, I don't know how to put it, but whatever. They're more liberated up there, I suppose, sexually. But what Morten went on to say was he's like, almost every boy you'll meet in Europe or in Denmark, he said, has probably had sex with another boy, but before they go to college, before they, get out of high school. As a matter of, and he's like, and nobody would ever think anything of it. Like it's like in the same way that you see like, like how women are more openly affectionate to each other.
Yes.
Right. In that sort of same vein is how Morten put it.
It's really funny because he totally reminded me of this wonderful book about socialism. And it has this really great provocative title. And it's titled Women Have Better Sex Under Socialism. And it's about how the social safety net actually influences people's lives. But it's a great title because that's obviously one example.
Yeah.
But it makes sense that Denmark, which has enjoyed a really wonderful social safety net, creates a populace of people who are super relaxed about social issues. Like they're not trying to do stupid culture war bullshit because their government isn't trying to divide them, like we are here. The only reason why we care about what people do in the privacy of their own homes is because we're told to, by a media apparatus and a government that's trying to keep us divided. It's interesting. Of course,
Cosmic Urgency is saying that he did say in the past that he hooked up Haim with the fat guy from Friday the 13th, Part 5. So that Haim would leave him alone. Yeah, well, that's interesting. I mean, if Haim was like a sex pest, I guess, to Feldman, that's weird. And I'm sure uncomfortable for Feldman if it was unwelcome. For sure. And yeah, I guess molestation is definitely the word, or whatever. Harassment. It sounds like more like harassment or assault if it got that far, as opposed to molestations. I feel like molestations are like, adults, authority,
If he had survived, I believe that these two Coreys would have been in litigation. They would have been at each other's throats. Like they would have had like restraining orders and shit. Like the way that he's so eager to drag his name around all the time. I feel like every time I ever hear anything about Feldman, it's because he's talking about Haim. And I just feel like I wonder whether if he had survived, whether that would have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's similar in his life as
they would have had a reality
my situation
TV show.
is to mine, in that like he can't escape it for some reason. Maybe they're so inexorably tied together that even if he wants to, he can't. So maybe it's just obviously, okay, I'll tell the whole ugly story.
That's a good point, because Corey Feldman certainly does exist in the past. Like he's fixated.
100%. He tries to look like Michael Jackson in the 80s. He
really should get help. I don't know what kind, or whether he'd even be receptive to that. He's a mess. I feel bad for him. I hope he's happy. He deserves it.
A couple more things before I get to the main story. And don't forget to check the chat.
I'm checking the chat.
All right.
Ritus is saying you would think that Wayfair would be desperate to get to a settlement now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they. Oh my God. Dude.
Hinata said that Wayfair has been desperate since the beginning. They came in swinging hard, but it was a matter of time. Reality creeps in.
Well, they came out swinging hard to try and force the settlement. What they tried to do was they tried to put so much pressure on her with the press tour
she would settle.
that she would want this to stop because it was just, career breaking. And instead she was like, listen, dude, that you're just making evidence.
Oh, Hinata, are you feeling better? Hinata was in the hospital yesterday. It said pain medication attacked my stomach.
Oh no.
But that happens, right? Isn't there's a bunch of revelations that pain medication, like over-the-counter pain meds, are really horrific.
You got to watch out for ibuprofen, man. Ibuprofen, especially on an empty stomach, will cause damage to the lining of your stomach.
Oh yeah, you went to a ENT. What are they called?
Yeah,
is that
a gastroenterologist or
yes,
something?
Sorry,
gastrologist or whatever. I don't know. Those guys who who probe your orifices.
Gastroenterologist.
Yeah.
Right? So he said that like if people stopped taking ibuprofen, he would have fewer patients, right? Didn't he say something?
He did say that. He said if people didn't take ibuprofen, he would have fewer. I was taking ibuprofen. I was rolling in jujitsu.
Mm-hmm.
In jujitsu, I was getting damaged in jujitsu. Like I was getting finger damage, and I was getting like all this damage from rolling. I was really enjoying it, but my God, bro, we were fighting. We were fighting 5 days a week.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand combat 5 days a week. And I was like bruised up and I had a couple of shots to the face and all that stuff. And so I was popping ibuprofens before I went to bed on a regular basis, unaware completely of the danger that I'd put myself in. And what I definitely did was damage the stomach lining as a result of it.
It's crazy.
Yeah. It can burn holes. Ibuprofen can burn holes in your stomach. That's why you have to take it with food. So if you take ibuprofen, it's not terribly unsafe if you take it with food, but just know that you should definitely use it as a last resort and use something like acetaminophen. Is that how you say it?
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen and other, painkillers like that. At least that's what I've read. I am not a doctor and this is not medical advice.
I do think it's really
blah,
cute
blah, blah.
how you always ask me to pronounce things for you.
Oh, thanks.
I think that's really adorable.
I can be terrible at pronouncing things.
I'm the pronouncer of the couple.
You want to hear some more uplifting news? I have uplifting news. I have some cool things.
I would love uplifting news. Thank you.
New York State Senate, they passed a bill that requires all schools in the state to serve breakfast and lunch at no cost to their students. You're going to feed the kids.
I know, what a novel
Can
concept,
you fucking
right?
imagine?
Yeah. We mandate that they have to stay here all day.
It's fucking bologna and cheese whiz sandwiches, but
They have a rule that the kids have to be there all day long. They can't leave, and their parents can't avoid taking them, but they're not going to feed them.
Exactly.
The whole day.
So I just think that's wonderful. I'll tell you what, where I grew up in a household where I did not have lunches very often. I was most often without them.
At school.
I usually ate in the morning before I left. And when I came home,
starving.
Frozen, just wieners in the microwave.
Wait. So you didn't have any food the whole time you were at school?
Most days.
Wow.
Most days. Yeah. In fact, my dad, they called my parents and they got them in trouble for it. And, and it was a thing in my life. So to have lived in a world where I was provided for in that situation and my parents didn't have to worry about it because they were kids themselves.
Yeah.
My mom was 18 when she had my brother.
Yeah, but how do you send your kid to school without a fucking snack?
They did.
That's.
And so, the reason why they're serving food in schools is because it's not uncommon, even to this day, that parents will do that. And so, it's just good news. It's great news. Kids are going to be fed. It's fucking amazing. It's like you pay all your fucking taxes, bro.
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit you want to see. They're fucking bullshit. Donald Trump screaming about how he's trying to protect Americans. Bull fucking shit. You're not doing anything, dude. If you were trying to protect Americans, healthcare would be your fucking first fucking priority, but it's not, and it will never be. And that's not him. He's not alone on that. We know. You can cross both aisles for people who don't get it done for healthcare, for fucking education, or the things that actually matter, that make quality of life, that that would be congruent with living in the so-called richest country of the world. New York State, man, keeping it real, bro. I love it.
Yeah, isn't it also like the craziest tax state too? Like, aren't the property taxes like totally insane there?
Yes, I know that. Well, I don't know. Jersey, North Jersey, Jersey in general is fucked up. I owned a $300,000 house. I think I paid $330 for the thing, and my taxes per year on that were $7,000.
Oh my God! So it's like, of course they should pay for
$7,000
schools
a year.
School lunch.
A year. Fucking, you never own a house. You never own a house. Not in America. All right. I got some other good and neat shit. There's a lot of breakthroughs happening in cancer. On the breakthroughs with clinical trials.
This was
Not
actually
trials,
one of the most horrible things that RFK Jr. did when he cut a bunch of funding.
Yeah.
Because you know how he's an anti-vaxxer, right?
Yeah.
So he cut a bunch of funding for RNA research.
Mm-hmm.
And they were actually developing not vaccines, but some sort of therapy that was treating cancer, like curing cancer. And they were really close to, I guess they had made some sort of breakthroughs. It's hard to follow this kind of like medical research
super
stuff.
science. So, yeah.
But I know that when he cut the funding, there was a lot of people who were being like, hey, wow, we were actually really close to curing cancer, but I guess not anymore. Thanks, RFK. because it's like when the evangelicals were like,
I have uplifting news. Just saying. I was trying to
stop talking. Go ahead.
No, it's not that I
What are
want
you
you to
gonna
stop
say?
talking, but it's just like RFK sucks. And this is good news. This will eventually come our way because
Where's it taking place?
RFK is, I don't know. I can tell you if I read through, but frog gut bacterium eliminates cancer tumors in mice with a single dose. A single shot of E. americana intravenously to mice with colorectal cancer completely eliminated tumors in every single treated animal.
It comes from frogs?
With ongoing protection. When mice were later re-exposed to the cancer cells, none of them developed new tumors.
No way.
Yeah.
You're cured forever.
Frog gut bacterium.
Frog gut bacterium?
Yeah, and listen.
Sounds gross.
Don't eat raw frogs. Like, that's not the way. Bacterium from the intestines of Japanese tree frogs has exhibited remarkably potent tumor-killing abilities when administered intravenously, outperforming current standard therapies and paving the way for an entirely new approach to treating cancer.
Okay,
the
but how
fucking
do they even-
Japanese, bro, they're doing it like crazy, bro.
I
They're
know.
growing teeth.
I know.
Now they're curing cancer with frogs.
Let me say something.
All right.
How crazy is it that they were like, okay, we got this bacteria that we got from a frog's belly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if we injected that into the veins
Somebody thought of that.
of a mouse?
Wait a second. I got an idea. Let's take this here frog. Whose frog is this anyway? Okay, we're going to use your frog.
Why are you rattling it like?
Because I want
You're shaking it? Are the little legs going like?
Yeah. I'm trying to make the legs wiggle. They can't even see that on the
Waggle,
live.
waggle.
I'm doing that.
Whose frog is this? Is this your
Whose frog is this? Is this your frog? All right, listen, we're going to use your frog for this, okay? Don't cry. Don't cry. I'll get you another frog. There's lots of frogs.
I think that it's so interesting because the fucking gut bacteria is like the new frontier of medicine. I was researching.
It is.
I was reading a little bit about what the difference is between people who survive pancreatic cancer and people that don't.
Yes.
It's one of the most deadly cancers that somebody can get, and it's apparently the survivors had identified 3 different gut bacteria that were in the GI tract of surviving people that were not in the people who succumbed to the disease.
So amazing.
Isn't that right? Incredible?
Well, the
I was like, great. So just give people the pill that has that gut bacteria in it, you know?
Yeah, and this is where like people, I think that, people are going to have to learn. One of the things that we might see from all the COVID era that we're in and all the illness that's strapping everyone down is a movement toward things like, okay, like fixing, like you're gonna have to turn to other means to get healthy. You know what I mean? Like if the viruses that are going around are causing all this damage and long COVID this and long COVID that, you're gonna have to start curing yourself.
Yeah.
And the first cure is your gut. That's it. Like that's the first one. It might be the only one. It might be like the center of your entire health spectrum.
Your immune system. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's truly fucking amazing. In fact, there was another one that I had, but I can't seem to find it right offhand. But there was another gut one with regards to, I think it was like stress and anxiety that they found a specific imbalance.
Oh, so if you have a gut bacteria, a specific kind, you're
prone to anxiety.
Oh,
and prone
so if you have
to
like
depression.
Like a GI infection of a bad bacteria,
Yeah.
It causes mental health problems.
I want to believe that I wrote my book and it cured my depression. It might be that I got off of processed foods entirely. I stopped drinking alcohol entirely.
You healed your guts, right?
I stopped drinking anything acidic at all. And I just started like working on my gut. It might be that because I'm absolutely cured of depression. Like I do not have any at all. I'm clicking my fucking heels. And I'm broke as I've ever been, you know?
That's great news, man.
Shannon is here, by the way.
Hello, everybody.
Good to see you, Shannon. Happiness is your life is here. School lunches is great. I also didn't have school lunch. Canada, 1980s. Yeah, see? That's me in Canada, man. Winnipeg, bro. Showing up without my lunch. I'll never forget, man. Mr. McCulchuk.
Mr. McCulchuk.
Mr. McCulchuk, man. He was my principal. And he comes up to me and he was this guy who had thinning widow's peak hair, you know, and he always looked tanned. I don't know how we lived in Winnipeg, but he was like a clencher, a jaw clencher. Mm-hmm. So he'd make that, and he'd do that when he'd get mad. I actually picked up on it because I thought it was like powerful looking. I was like, oh, look at that. So I just fuck your jaws, you know, and just sit there. Like when somebody gets mad, you just flex your jaws at them and go.
And they can see it.
And he would just flex his jaw, you know, like, fuck, McCulchuk's mad, bro. This guy's mad. So he comes marching into, you know, the classroom at lunch, and his fucking jaws are, where's your lunch? And I was like, I don't have a lunch. He's like, did your mom make your lunch? No. Did your dad make your lunch? No. You didn't forget your lunch? No, there was no lunch. Come with me. And he called my dad. He called him on the fucking phone. He's like, why doesn't this kid have a lunch? He's like, I'm going to report this to child services or whatever. My dad's, he's lying. My dad, fucking dad, he's lying. It was in the fridge the whole time. So my dad shows up with fucking sandwiches.
So he reports
that were that thick with meat. He showed up with sandwiches I've never eaten in my life before. You've never eaten in my life after. They were bigger than any down sandwich you've ever fucking seen. They were massive. McCulchuk was like, my dad went to a store. He bought like 6 pounds of fucking meat and put them in like 2 sandwiches. One for me, one for my brother. Fucking biggest lunch I ever had. I was like burping at 6 o'clock, still tasting that pastrami.
That's how your dad fixed it.
That's it, yeah. And then from then on, you know, there were more lunches, still not, you know, like that lasted until like grade 6. As soon as I went to junior high, I was like, you're on your fucking own, kid.
Yeah, right.
You always have been. All right. I got more. Cannabis oil associated with tumor regression in patients with advanced liver cancer. There's a new study.
Cannabis oil?
Cannabis oil.
Okay.
Oh, damn it. Associated with advanced liver cancer. Yep. This is
How is it consumed? Are people vaping or
Normal.org reports says a pair of patients with advanced, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, you don't have to pronounce the cancer.
Yeah, it's a carcinoma of some kind. Experienced spontaneous tumor regression following daily use of cannabis extracts, according to data published.
Oh, I'm sorry. It helped. I thought you were saying that it caused it.
No. Good for you. Well, good for it. Dutch investigators documented complete tumor regression.
See?
Complete tumor regression.
It's a medicine, man.
In a pair of patients with advanced HCC, that's the carcinoma we were talking about. Both patients consumed THC-dominant cannabis oils daily. Neither patient engaged in any significant lifestyle, dietary, or other supportive interventions aside from the use of these cannabis extracts. Talk about putting trust in a situation, bro.
Yeah, right.
But it's your fucking liver, bro. It's when you got cancer in your liver, you're just on the shortest.
I wonder if that works preventatively too. Like if you make this part of your routine.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
We will?
Yeah, because if I don't get liver cancer, it's a win.
Oh, yeah. But
no, I don't know. I'm not using extracts.
This was a specific product they gave them.
I kid.
Because it's an experiment, wasn't
it? The woman from Pennsylvania. What's that?
Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right. Spontaneous regression typically occurs fewer than 0.5% of all cases. And they gave 2 people,
This one thing,
which is obviously extremely limited. Like, I mean, obviously this is a very,
no, but now they can trial it on a bunch
it's
more people.
exciting as fuck. I mean,
Yeah,
this
totally.
is just crazy. Liver cancer. I mean, it kills you fast. It kills you fast when the cancer gets to your liver, or if it starts there, if it metastasizes or it's advanced at all, it's
Do you feel
very
like there's
bad
more
news.
medical breakthroughs recently, or do you think
yes.
that
I've been reading a
do you
lot.
think it's just because we're looking at this news?
We're covering all this. Well, no, I mean, no, we're definitely. I think we're heading toward a golden age of medicine, and I think we're seeing a lot of this coming from other countries, and maybe that might be because they don't have, they don't. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate there. We're seeing things. I mean, obviously, like I said, they're literally growing teeth in Japan right now. And by the way, that's a major problem. Like dental problems around the world, major fucking problem, major source of disease, from everything from cardiovascular disease to cancer. So it's a big fucking deal if you can find a way to help create, and because it's, by the way, one of the most neglected forms of medicine in terms of overall, even universal healthcare. Like, for example, in Canada, I don't know if they were supposed to implement dental just recently, but it was in 1970 when Canada went to a universal healthcare, single payer, not even a single payer. What am I talking about? But you know what I'm saying? So pretty fucking cool. And then one more on the cannabis stuff. There's a cannabis treatment provides sustained relief for patients with fibromyalgia, myalgia. That fucking pain that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like nerve pain. Like you feel like you're being fried.
It was like a phantom pain that they couldn't find. They couldn't find what it was.
It was relief with cannabis.
Yeah. So it's a study that I think is just so exciting. I love this. So patients with fibromyalgia reported sustained improvements in their health-related quality of life following the use of medical cannabis preparations, according to observational data published in the Journal for Clinical Rheumatology. British investigators assessed the adjunctive use of cannabis-based medicinal products in a cohort of 497 FM patients, fibromyalgia patients. Oh, I think I got it.
Okay, but listen.
Enrolled in the UK Medical Cannabis Registry. Yeah. What about it? What?
Medical cannabis has been used since they started using it medicinally, right?
Yeah, this is a study though, right? So
no, I know, but it's because it's a anti-inflammatory. So fibromyalgia, it's because it's you could tell because it's a rheumatologist.
Yeah.
So rheumatism or whatever.
Yeah.
What is it?
Like
that kind of
rheumatism,
arthritis, which
it
is
is.
like,
Yeah, I had a friend who had it. It was fucking
super
gnarly,
painful.
bro.
But it's an inflammatory disease.
Yeah, for sure.
They think it's like an autoimmune disease, but it's got the problem is that your immune system creates too much inflammation, and that's why it sort of like attacks your tissues and your nerves, and they get haywire because of the excess inflammation. So the reason why cannabis products work, medical cannabis, is because those strains are bred for anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Very cool. I love it. And now this. A loud minority. This is in Our Science. This article.
A loud?
Yeah.
Is that 2 words? A loud minority?
Yeah. This article comes from Oxford Academic. And the headline I clicked on said, a loud minority makes the internet seem more toxic than it is.
This is true.
A small group of active users generates most hostility while the majority remain civil. The imbalance leads many Americans to assume the worst about one another.
Mm-hmm.
Correcting that misperception can improve how people feel about society.
That's right.
This is done by government and PR. This was all by design. This is not a human error
Listen, if you ever see any of these interviews with these tech executives, their children and their family
Are
members
not allowed.
are not on social media.
Nope, they're not
because they
allowed.
know how toxic it is.
Australia just banned 16-year-olds.
It's designed to be toxic.
teenagers.
Every time that I ever see somebody like make really hateful comments, like one of these really like absurd, really like insensitive type shit, you know?
Yeah.
I always just imagine it's like somebody's like lonely middle-aged uncle who's like got a superiority complex and is just like spending his entire day like tapping away on the computer with these fucking like hate comments on a fucking Facebook page in the middle of nowhere, you know?
Tanner's here. What's up, Tanner?
It's always just that guy. If you can sort of put a face like that and make it like a pathetic person that you would never engage in a conversation with anyway, it sort of helps to be like, oh, that guy's just a loony bin. That opinion doesn't matter.
Well, let me read this abstract for you. Americans can become more cynical about the state of society when they see harmful behavior online. 3 studies of American public, and I don't know how many there were, it was like tons, revealed that they consistently and substantially overestimated how many social media users contribute to, how many social media users contribute to harmful behavior online. On average, they believe that 40% of all Reddit users have posted severely toxic comments, and that 47% of all Facebook users have shared false news online. In reality, platform-level data shows that most of these forms of harmful content are produced by small but highly active groups of users.
So it's like 2%.
3 to 7%. This misconception this misperception was robust to different thresholds of harmful content classification. An experiment revealed that overestimating the proportion of social media users, an experiment revealed that overestimating the proportion of social media users who post harmful content makes people feel more negative emotion, perceive the United States to be in greater moral decline, and cultivate distorted perceptions of what others want to see on social media. However, these effects can be mitigated through a targeted educational intervention that corrects this misperception. Together, our findings highlight a mechanism that helps explain how people's perceptions and interactions with social media may undermine social cohesion.
That made me think about the people that come on here and they're like, oh, you and these like 10 people in your chat are the only ones who are pro-lively. Like, really, dude? Because you're like 3 to 7%. and we're the other 93%.
You're just loud and you have more followers. No, it's just weird because it's like they're activated and they're more active. So when we see this, was a part of why I am active in the way that I am. And by the way, my posts aren't toxic. Like if you go read my post, I've never been banned or suspended or anything from there because I never insult people. Like I never attack anybody. I don't call them delusional or anything. I might say that what they're saying or the specific topic is nuts. I might refer to it as that, but I never attack them personally. I try to be conscientious about that because the last thing I want to do is I don't want to turn the argument in that way. I learned a lot when I scared Guilty Angel away by, my rant. And it was like, wow, like, wait a second, that's not how I want to play this game. But I do want to play this game because I feel like there's a terrible imbalance.
I don't know why you're reinventing that situation. You didn't say anything bad or wrong.
Well, it's not about that. It was not about saying something bad or wrong. It was about, and I'm not reinventing it. I don't want to necessarily go down the rabbit hole of that because it was more of just a catalyst. It doesn't matter if my interpretation was wrong or if I was being overcritical of myself or whatever it might be. It doesn't matter. The point that I'm trying to make and that was so incredibly valuable to me was that, it started to make me want to define more definitively my position or my purpose. Like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I here? Why am I like shouting at the internet? Why do I go online? Why do I care about any of this? And should I? And so it sort of, almost like a mini existential crisis as it related to what we were doing here and all this stuff. And it was really worthwhile for me because I immediately understood that I wanted to approach it differently, and I wanted to approach it in a way that was going to be more beneficial. Like it's one thing if we all just come together and kind of sing our same song together, but that won't affect change. And in this greatly imbalanced world, I really want to, in the least possible way to the most possible way, whatever the Lord gives me, I want to have my opportunity to change somebody's mind if I feel like that person is being misguided by an internet that's out to create this chaos.
It's kind of a tall order, though, to change somebody's mind. You have to recognize that you might not even be talking to a person at all.
It's fun. Yeah, but I also look at it this way, because I've figured that out, because it was like, oof, what if this person's just a bot or whatever?
Exactly.
And like I said, it makes a record, and I like the record that's there. You should see my downvotes; they're heavy duty.
This is totally off topic.
Okay.
But I wanted to ask you this question that Cosmic Urgency asked. Okay?
Yeah.
Cosmic Urgency is asking, who is responsible for the look of movies like E.T., Gremlins, and Amazing Stories and Twilight Zone, the movie? I missed that aesthetic.
Me too.
I thought Spielberg, but his projects never looked like that again after the 80s.
Yeah. Well,
it's a great question.
Yeah, I can't possibly know exactly how to answer that, because I don't know the dynamics on the set. The director of photography and the gaffer are going to be the two people who would have probably had the most influence in terms of the look of the movie. That wouldn't have been Steven Spielberg. Now, that dynamic might have been a matter of producing.
Mm.
So there is a woman producer whose name escapes me right now. There was a woman producer that Steven Spielberg worked through through most of the early years.
Okay.
All those masterpieces. And let me see if I can get her name. And she and him broke up and went their separate ways. And ever since they went their separate ways, his movies have never looked or really even felt the same. He's still a fine filmmaker. It's in the same way that if you look at Simpson and Bruckheimer versus Bruckheimer, and there's a good example of it in terms of producing, because Simpson and Bruckheimer were, this like incredible duo. One, brilliant at putting the deal together, getting the talent in,
mm-hmm.
and then the other, Don Simpson, so that would be Jerry Bruckheimer. And then Don Simpson, his reputation was all about his incredible ability to develop the intellectual property, to work with the writer-director duo, or however many were involved, and guide that creatively to its, ultimate end. So it was this like perfect duo. And then Don Simpson died, he OD'd, and left was Jerry Bruckheimer. And the Jerry Bruckheimer films, they had no heart.
Mm.
They lost the brilliance of great creative development. And they became like beat sheets with set pieces.
I've noticed this too. I've spoken before about how I thought I was a fan of Quentin Tarantino, but it turns out I was a fan of Sally Menke, his editor, because she passed away in 2010.
Yeah.
And every movie since that he's been working with a different editor. He hired the guy from Fast and Furious, and every single one of those movies is just completely different and doesn't have the same snappy pacing, the same like storytelling ease that the Sally Menke films had. So I was like, oh, I didn't realize I was actually a fan of hers, not his.
Well, it's so great that you brought her up, because it's another answer for Cosmic Urgency, because the other persons, the other department that would be really big is in the editing department.
Oh, the colorists.
The colorists.
Yeah.
So colorists are massive.
Right.
And they do, and also, so colorists.
But also
big
like,
fucking
okay,
deal.
so production designer would influence the aesthetic. Then the cinematographer and the gaffer, right? They influence the aesthetic.
Yeah.
The you're probably noticing the camera moves, so that would just be Spielberg would make those decisions, right? And the cinematographer too.
Yeah, it would be probably a joint. Who knows? It depends on how prolific the director is in terms of camera. Like Steven Spielberg. Kubrick. He was a photographer. He was
right.
He was a DP. He was not going to let
what was that
a director of photographer.
What was that early Spielberg movie that we saw with the car chases?
Oh, one of his first there. Yeah,
it was so great. What was it?
I don't know. I'm looking up something. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Sorry, it was the one with Goldie Hawn.
I'm just trying to find this. I'm going to try to see if I can find this producer.
My point for bringing that up is that Steven Spielberg had a lot of the same shots. Like when you watched his really early films, you could recognize that he was sort of developing a signature in the way that he chose to film sequences.
Oh my God, there were only 2 producers on Jaws, so it wasn't there. I might have the person, this was such a long time ago that I had this conversation. It was such a great conversation. I wish I'd have written it down, man, because it's a great question. But I think he had, and it might have been the editor. There was definitely a significant change.
Oh, the Sugarland Express is what I was talking about.
Right.
An early Spielberg movie where you could see that he's doing a lot of the same camera moves, but it's basically like
camera ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. Car chase movie. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, please don't apologize. Let me look at this one here. Let me look at this one.
So you're saying it was, Indiana Jones and E.T. had the same production designer, you think? Or producer?
Hang on, give me 1 second.
I'm not just going to wait. I'm going to keep chattering at you.
You're going to wait because I said you're going to wait. Let me see. E.T. Let's go there. I can't believe E.T. only gets a 7.9 out of 10. That movie is a 9 out of 10.
Maybe they're like, I wish the monster was a better designed one.
Oh, from 1980, whatever. What is that? 80 what? 81? 82? Fucking crazy.
Okay, Kathleen Kennedy, producer. Melissa Matheson, producer. And writer. So are you talking about either of them?
It's probably Kathleen Kennedy.
Okay, so Kathleen Kennedy produced Jurassic Park. For Spielberg, produced E.T., Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Poltergeist. Lots of really good ones. Artificial Intelligence. Hook. Several of these. They worked together for a long time, but she has.
Anyway, I don't know who it is. It could have been an editor too. Who edited?
I should look this up and compare.
I just have to talk to Jerry Metters again about it because Jerry will remember. He told me the story.
Jerry, the VP of marketing at Paramount Pictures?
No, the executive producer of Don's Plum.
Same Jerry.
Oh.
Did he know these people?
I don't know.
Did he
he might have known like Kathleen Kennedy.
Do lunch with Kathleen Kennedy?
He might have, yeah. He definitely was around when they were around, They got their deal over at Universal though, so maybe not. Oh my God, I can't believe
Cosmic Urgency, that was a good question.
It's a great question. I'm now obsessed with it. All right, well, I'm going to do more. We're going to do more work into that. I'm going to continue the answer to this question another day.
We're going to do a deep dive?
Yeah. Because it's a great question, and I'm going to find the answer here as best I can. Because I knew the answer somewhat, or at least I want to verify if I did, actually.
Okay, I lost my place in the chat. You guys are very busy in the chat today. That's really great. Okay, so who's responsible for the look in those movies? I would like to know. Bryda said that politics in Australia at the moment is messy as hell.
Yep.
I think it's all these, obviously it's not geographically Western, but it's like Western,
Yeah, values. Western political influence.
Yeah, exactly. I think that all of us are in for a real big, some might say a revolution, whether that happens or not, but definitely a big shiftaroo,
Yeah.
It's like we're all involved in systems that are unsustainable. And I think we're recognizing that in real time.
Shannon said there's no a super chat because, as you know, Shannon has been a major contributor, and I just want to let her in on knowing that we turned it off because we learned that both YouTube and Apple are taking a 30% cut of your super chats. And, we'll probably turn it back on when we get real busy for the trial or whatever. Mm-hmm. But we just had a hard time being okay with that.
Yeah. I didn't think it was fair to you guys.
No, I definitely didn't think it was fair to you guys. I didn't think it was fair to us either, but, I could live with it, I suppose, I guess. No, I can't. I can't, because Apple and Google have a combined value of $7 trillion and that they would tax creators 60% of super chats that are coming from people who want to give love to the channel and grow the channel and support the channel and the people who are creating for it, to me is borderline evil. To me, it's borderline evil. not so much on YouTube's part, because YouTube, at least they're providing stuff. They actually,
I
make
mean,
30%. It's a little high, it's high, but they're doing a bunch of shit. They're
evil
providing
is so hyperbolic, but I mean, like, it's exploitative, right? It's
you can call it hyperbole. I think it's absolutely evil. I think it's evil I think that Apple, which has one of the most highest cash values of any corporation in the world, taxing creators 30% and purposely doing so. It's not like it's like something that like, because it comes through their app store.
You and I agree. I just
as
don't
an
think
in-app purchase.
I don't think it helps make your point if you.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Stupid.
Can I finish?
Of course, I can't stop you.
All right. Well, never mind that. I'll move on. But it's to me it's egregious.
Yeah, it's a shame. I think it was the right thing to do though, because it's just not fair. I think that you're protecting people when you keep. It's like you're shielding unsuspecting victims from being victimized. Yeah. I think that's a good thing.
So before we move on to anything else in the chat, I want to finish this because I told you that swearing makes you stronger, right?
Yes, swearing makes you stronger.
Here's the
Science
actual,
has determined.
Ars Technica reporting. It says if you're human, you've probably hollered a curse word or two or three this morning when barking your shin on a table. When it says barking.
Bunking?
It's supposed to be banging or your shin on a table edge or hitting your thumb with a hammer. Okay. Perhaps you've noticed this seems to lessen your pain. There's a growing body of scientific evidence that says that is indeed the case. The technical term is hypogesic effect of swearing. Cursing can also improve physical strength and endurance, according to a new paper published. That's why my dad is so strong. My dad is a trucker, and it's like, and I was like, because he sits behind the wheel, right? Not anymore, but 6 million miles. Like, how are you getting strong doing this?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, right. That's his job. His job was pushing pedals and shifting gears.
Yeah, but didn't he have to, like, when he had to service the truck? You gotta like do heavy lifting, right?
No, very rarely. No, I mean, very, very rarely. If they. No.
What is involved in pumping gas into...
Now I know it's because he's fucking cursing, bro.
No, I know, but listen, when you're a trucker, what is involved in pumping gas into a truck, right? Like, don't you have to like muscle a bunch of shit together?
No.
Oh, I always just thought it looked super extreme.
Nah.
Those guys are always really fucking strong. So I just assumed it took strength to run one of those. Right?
So the result is that only the F word had any effect on pain outcomes. So, that's why, you can't like wuss out. You got to like lay it out there. The team also measured that subjects' pain threshold, asking them to indicate when the ice water, they doused them in really, really cold water, began to feel painful. Those who chanted the F word waited longer before indicating that they felt pain. In other words, the swearing increased their threshold for pain.
That is so interesting. So if you exclaim your frustration, you're going to alleviate your pain about it. I love that. That's like psychological release, right? This is true. Like if you speak, this is, a lot of like,
it's like Gestalt.
A lot of like the really woo-woo, like new age people always talk about like when you speak, you're manifesting or something. Yeah. But I think that there is something to how psychologically you can assist yourself by speaking. I think that they've done studies that people who talk to themselves are genuinely experience better mental health than people that do not talk to themselves. Like just in general, you just talk out your thoughts and you'll feel better about everything. Isn't that funny? We're such weird social creatures.
We are weird. Well, I think there's just so much to us, and now science and just the ever evolving human, and we're starting to like uncover some of the stuff that we're really. I mean, it took destroying our guts to realize that the power of our health,
mm-hmm.
The power they have over all of our organs, from our organs to our brain health to just our to our emotional stability.
But I love this idea that swearing out loud actually helps you feel less pain.
Guys say the F word too. It says,
yeah, that's so interesting. So like if you have a kid who like stubbed their toe or like scraped their knee or something, and you got to do the alcohol treatment or the peroxide treatment or whatever, and it stings, you should just let them curse.
You let it out, kid. Heal.
Now's your chance. You get a freebie.
When I bang I bang my heel with some, or my shin with some frequency, actually. So that was a good example that they drew up in the
I
article.
constantly had skin knees because we were outside all
Well,
the time.
I just now in my
in our house, yeah.
mid 50s, I'm smacking my.
Well, our house is really small and our furniture is too big, so that's probably why.
But when I do, I like my brain is going, you motherfucker!
Just
like
let it
it's
out, man.
screaming.
Just do it.
I don't
Not at
I
high
don't think you
volume,
have to speak
though,
it into
please.
existence, huh?
Not at high volume.
I don't think you have to speak it into. I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
Did they talk about that in the study? Do you if you're shouting versus whether?
Well, they were saying
you
the people
just,
who were
speak?
chanting the F word, which you know what that is. They're not sitting there going F F F F, right? They're like, oh fuck, oh fuck, because they're in this cold water.
It
right?
felt better.
They're the ones who could withstand more pain.
See, complaining helps.
By the way, we talked about the Oscars moving from ABC to YouTube, and I was looking at some of the comments, and some people are really excited because they seem to think that the Oscars are going to become like what they used to be.
What
they used to be. Sorry, what that's ridiculous. They're thinking the Oscars are going to become this like just free for all Oscars, like no time limits, more or less, or like super long ones. Like, all right, you got 5 minutes for your speech, that kind of thing. As opposed to now, which you get like whatever, a minute and a half or whatever it is.
It'll never happen because all of those people do not want to stay at that event for any longer than 2 hours. Like everybody has places to go. They want to go party. So there's just no way that they're going to make the show longer for people who are watching at home because all the people who are in attendance don't feel like being there any longer,
Right.
It's like a work event is what I don't think people recognize,
Yeah.
Like they're speeding up people's speeches because everybody's like sick of being there.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, everyone in the chat, like in the comments, they were all excited about it.
Yeah, well, it's never going to happen though.
But I'm saying sort of contradicting what you might think, these people seem to think that it's going to be better. We're going to see like
I hope so.
No censorship on it. Like people are going to be like, yo, fuck Donald Trump. And we're going to hear it. That's what they're hoping for. I suspect that won't be the case. I think they're going to keep it PG. Personally.
I wouldn't.
No, me either, man. Like rip the Band-Aid off. Let's see.
I feel like that scene in Office Space, where he quits his job.
Yeah.
Is that Office Space? Where he goes, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. Before he quits.
Yeah.
That'd be like me. I'd go for my acceptance speech, and that's what it would be like. Do you want to hear from the chat?
Yes.
Cosmic Urgency finally watched the Superman movie, said it was silly but fun. I enjoyed it. I liked Lex Luthor's girlfriend taking selfies in the background. I thought that was clever too. But this is what I was saying about James Gunn's comedy writing. He's a really, really great comedy writer. Everything else that he wrote sucked.
Yeah.
That movie was a mess.
I'm gonna totally acknowledge that I might not be capable of watching Marvel movies and giving them any kind of fair shake whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because if that's a movie, or DC movies, just comic book movies, because if that's a good movie, I'm completely like I thought it was absolute shit. Like, yes, there were some redeeming moments. I like the scene between Lois and Clark in the or was it Lois and whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
a nice long, back and forth dialogue. It was like, it felt natural. Things felt good. I was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm looking for. The heart and soul of characters in this extraordinary setting. I just don't feel like that he delivered on that at all.
Shannon knows was asking about why there's no super chat option before you explained.
No, I did. That's why I explained.
I know you explained.
No, I did it because I saw that.
No, but did you see that Shannon knows said that my conspiracy theory is that Leo was behind it?
Yeah. I didn't see that.
That he like squashed.
We didn't get to Leo. We got to get to the Leo news. I forgot about that. Shit,
yeah. What's on your thumbnail tonight?
So it was just like some fun about, fucking, I guess, did you see Jennifer Lawrence do her thing to Leo?
No.
So they're doing this actor on actor, which is just.
I was in the kitchen all day, where I belong. And I was, so I didn't watch I didn't do any reading or listening to anything in preparation for tonight.
They did an actor on actor thing, and they're going back and forth and tell me about David O. Russell and tell me about James Cameron and blah, blah, blah. And, everyone's all shocked, by the way.
It's all scripted, right?
Actually, let me do this first. You know how I've constantly said that like this bullshit about the premiere that Justin Baldoni is putting out for Ends With Us is so annoying because, and so just
that it was
bullshit.
like, he's saying, he's framing everything as if it's a big fucking power struggle. that in
No,
his
worse.
own
No.
premiere, he was like sidelined and that he was thrown in the basement and all this other bullshit.
Yeah, that he characterized the evil Blake Lively, ruined his premiere. It's not his fucking premiere. And I've said this over and over again. It was never his premiere. It's no one's premiere.
And he's also
It's
the boss of
movie's
everybody.
premiere.
So why is anybody else telling him what to do?
Apart from that, where I'm going with this is that Leo revealed that he didn't watch Titanic. He went to the fucking premiere.
Yes.
Yeah. So he did the red carpet. You know what he didn't do? He didn't go sit in a seat.
So he went to the premiere. He like shook a bunch of hands.
Yeah.
He said hi to all the fans, and then split.
And then blasted to the after party or wherever the fuck he went.
Yeah, right.
Right? Or just sat in a room until everybody finished and then did press afterwards. Who the fuck knows? But he didn't go watch the movie. He's never seen it, which is not surprising to me
and
whatsoever.
it's so funny too because Baldoni, like you were telling me that they very often have a cast and crew screening before the premiere because the premiere is a marketing event where you put a bunch of like maybe distributors, but a bunch of marketing people.
Yes.
Like journalists and stuff, right?
Journalists.
And so Baldoni could have just had a cast and crew screening where all of his whole entourage could have seen the film.
Yeah.
That them all attending the premiere.
They would have normally done that, and they did do that, I'm sure. But the point I'm making is that the premiere is never anybody's event. It's not for individuals. It's not to elevate any individuals. It's the studio's opportunity to exploit the stars for which they paid millions of dollars, right? To
and they're
put in their
obligated
movies
to
and to
attend.
walk that red carpet and to do this moment so that they could sell their movies. And Leo DiCaprio talking about how he's never seen Titanic is a perfect example of that. I love that he's never seen Titanic, but he has seen Don's Plum. I think that's kind of cool. I'm not arguing about which one's better.
Well, he liked Don's Plum, so
he loved it.
So there you go.
He loved it. Yeah. So anyway, and Jen Lawrence, I call her Jen. She was telling Leo, he should see it. It's such a great movie, et cetera, et cetera. But it's just interesting because Baldoni wants to, he's ruined, and like the writing, whatever the sentences describing his problem with Blake Lively is all about him and how it ruined the premiere of his movie. Absolutely has nothing to fucking do with him, you big fucking baby. What a big fucking baby. Crybaby. All right, so listen. Leo DiCaprio, he's with Jen Lawrence. They're going back and forth or whatever. And then I don't know how it led to this because I only saw the clip.
Lawrence is shortened to Larry. So
Jen
you
Larry?
could just call her
Jenny Larry. She says to
Jenny Larry.
She says, I wish I would have seen Leonardo DiCaprio become a father, have a daughter, a teenage daughter, because we've seen you with them. You look so good with them. Like, it was and I paraphrase that.
So she's roasting
It was
him?
an absolute face dropper. Like, it was wild.
That's a clever roast joke.
Yeah, what's funny about it is that it was like all the rage yesterday, right? Everybody's talking about it or whatever. We didn't cover it because it didn't really,
So you're saying that Jennifer Lawrence is a fan of yours?
Yeah, right. I don't think so. I'm sure they had some problem because they did a movie together.
Okay,
right?
so we're gonna send her
Didn't
your
they do
book, like express mail.
Maybe she read it.
Maybe.
I'll tell you what. Listen to me. Most of my sales are in fucking LA, bro. My data is most of my sales are in LA.
Amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, Leonardo DiCaprio, his face fell off. I was like delighted, of course.
Yeah.
Utterly.
It's just such a clever joke too to set him up and knock him down.
She delivers it. You gotta see it. Her delivery is so good. His reaction is so good. Like it's a moment. It's a real moment. I loved it. It was definitely, anyway, so that was dominating, right? Like everybody was talking about, Leo and his young girlfriend problem, right? That he has. And then today the big spin, of course, is that he never saw Titanic.
Yeah.
So his publicists were right after, they're like, well, we know they'll talk about this. And of course they did. People,
I'm sure
the
it's
internet.
scripted. I'm sure that there's a lot of things that they decide beforehand that they're going to talk about and that they're not going to talk about.
Steven Spielberg is 79 years old.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's still got it.
He looks 50.
So he's gonna reveal to us the alien conspiracy before he goes.
Hey, listen, I think that he is working with the state to globally globally, because that's his reach, to start setting the stage for us to learn the truth about not just NHI, non-human intelligence, and UAPs, right? Or UFOs, as they were once called, but also the origins of mankind, humans.
Origins of mankind. Why do you think this?
Because, so I follow this space, and I have for years and years.
And so
I've always been fascinated since I was a kid. I've always looked up, wanting to see one so bad. I'm just like, just show me.
Okay, I know. The origins of mankind is the part I want you to talk about.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
You're going to have to be patient.
No, but I can't be patient.
You will be.
You have to tell me.
You're the one wasting the time.
What do the UFOs tell us about the origins of mankind?
Yeah. So I follow the space,
Uh-huh.
and something that has come up fairly recently, probably in the last 5 years, is that the NHI or the revealing of these beings is going to completely shatter how we think mankind came to be. Should we be calling it mankind? Should we be calling it humankind? Is that what I should be calling it? Mankind? Is that like?
No, I think
am I asserting my?
It's not. It's not a patriarchal thing.
Phallic powers.
I don't think that sociologists think of it as a supremacy thing. No.
So origin of man.
Hey, that's neat.
Like
you know, I love these. One of Dale's favorite shows that he's turned me on to is just really great to have on in the background when you just when you're doing some annoying task that you want entertainment for. It's Ancient Aliens, because they always interview these like scientists and researchers that are totally like really strange characters.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Off the wall humans.
Yeah, every single one of them is like straight out of a comic strip.
Totally.
But but they're always talking about how the ancient hieroglyphics all across and whatever carvings and stuff, like cave drawings and things. They always had these giant beings gifting something to these smaller beings, and for a long time, people thought that they were reading them as if it was like parents gifting something to children. But then they would read into these other contexts, and they were like, "But they're not really children. Those are like giants gifting to humans."
Yeah.
And so I love how they've like completely attached to this idea that early civilizations were created by this like extraterrestrial race of giant beings who was gifting technology to the smaller ones. And that's how they were managed to like move the boulders to create these monuments that we can't figure out how they constructed to this day. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
By the way,
I don't believe in any of these conspiracy theories, but I just think it's so great that there's like this ancient civilization origins that none of us have figured out, but they made drawings of it.
Listen, I'm 100% convinced. There's no doubt in my mind, none whatsoever, that not only is non-human intelligence real, but that they have biologicals. I'm 100% sure.
Non-human intelligence exists in fungi. So yeah, it's not beyond the realm
of
possibility.
That's not what we're talking about.
I know that's not what we're talking about, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility that this sort of thing happens, right? Like we're talking about
anybody that gets to advanced, like we're not talking about,
anybody that gets to know
splitting.
An octopus as a caretaker in a fucking zoo or whatever, aquarium, like they know how intelligent octopi are, right? Like it's not actually, octopi is not the plural of octopus. Did you know that?
No, it's not. It's octopuses.
It's octopuses, which sounds
I didn't know that.
Totally wrong when
It's
you say
octopuses.
it, but apparently.
I made the octopi mistake once already in my life. Yeah, I think it's octopuses. It's like, that's stupid.
Don't be ridiculous.
Who would ever call it? It's octopi. Stupid. Look it up. Oh, octopuses. It's a good shirt just to have octopuses. Just
that's the name of my band.
Across the top.
The
octopuses.
Yeah, it's an all girls
8-person band.
Yeah, it's got to be like each one of us is playing multiple instruments.
With my feet and my hands.
Anyway,
Cosmic Urgency said of Superman that it was good, it was dumb, but it was dumb fun, and I get that. But that's there, and the reason why
it's not good enough for me.
The reason why I was so critical of it was because that's not how it was touted. It was touted as the best Superman ever made. It was touted as better than the OG, and it just wasn't even remotely close to that. It captured none of that, And again, I mean, I saw that when I was a kid, and I was much more amenable to the concepts, but still, you know, it didn't have the heart, didn't, whatever. Anyway, I said them things. Octopuses freaks me out, said
I know.
Hanada.
I know it's wrong, but it's right. But it feels wrong. It sounds so wrong.
No, I think she means actual octopuses freak her out.
Oh.
Well, they're wildly intelligent. You know, they fucking figure out puzzles.
They should freak you out because they're intelligent and they know what's going on.
And they cloak.
And they probably know more about what's going on than
Angela
we do.
might be an octopus. They cloak.
Have you ever seen that video of an octopus dreaming? They dream, folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't know about shit. We don't know about what's going on this planet. So when you say non-human intelligence, I'm like, oh, well, we've got that all around us constantly, you know?
Cosmic City hates my filters, but I don't actually have any filters on.
Your filters?
I hate your fucking filters, Cosmic.
What are your filters?
There'd be like YouTube filters, but I don't have any filters on. I have zero filters on. I'm a wild. It's the Wild West on this chat.
Oh, do you? He says I can never say stuff.
That's not my
I have
filters.
to try a million different ways and give up. The disclosure, in quotes, is a setup for a fake thing by the bad guys.
Maybe that's that. I don't believe that's true, though.
So you have filters that prevent him from speaking freely?
I don't. I don't have any filters on.
Oh, maybe YouTube has filters that are
That's
not
the only.
under your
That's
control.
the only. That would be the house filters.
Yeah,
because they're not my filters.
Gotcha.
Because I go in
to
and
keep people from doing like hate speech and shit.
Yeah, like you can actually go in. I can actually go in and like create words that people can't use.
Yeah, okay.
Like loser. I can take that name out, that word out.
Because I hate it when people call me a loser.
I will not tolerate you calling me a loser one more time.
I'm a winner.
I'm a winner. My dad said I'm a winner. My mom said I'm a winner. And then they hit me. So I'm sorry that you're getting censored by YouTube, but it's not my filters. See how things reflect on us? See what I mean? Like, jeez. Okay, I can never say stuff. Yes. Well, that's possible that the disclosure is a distraction. I don't think it's likely at all. I think it's very highly unlikely to be the case.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, you can't ever put it past them to not do conspiracies because you have to remember that all the tech companies and all of these big media companies are being purchased by the worst people. So they all have an agenda, and that's definitely undeniable.
Yeah. Well,
Tanner's with us.
I know.
Tanner was here yesterday, so that he had a really hectic day at work yesterday, and I missed reading the comment for you, but it was nice to have you here yesterday, Tanner. And today said, if you haven't talked about the Coreys, which we have, I thought they were best friends before he died. Why did he say that about him? Yeah,
it's the whole thing is disturbing in many ways to me because again, the way when you know, again, first of all, it's an extract out of a documentary. He says it. It sounds like it's more of like, I mean, basically, he was molesting me, is what he was saying. It sounds like more like he said something like that in the documentary. I haven't seen it yet. It's available on Apple TV.
Do you want to watch it tonight?
Maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe.
Are you sure?
Maybe.
I won't force you. You seem conflicted.
I do want to see it. Maybe. But anyway, but why would he say that? I don't know, Tanner, man. It's a bummer, bro. It is. It feels like, you know, I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like, and this is going to be a harsh thing to say. People say this about me and it fucking drives me crazy. So I want to be careful on how I phrase this because I don't know shit. Regardless of how Corey Feldman feels about what he's doing with all of this stuff, it can appear to people to be as if he is just trying to somehow stay relevant or to stay in the conversation. You know, he came out, he's been talking about his abuse of Hollywood for 10 years or more, actually, because he talked about it way back with Barbara Walters. He's never written a book. He's never had somebody ghostwrite a book for him. He appears to have at least enough money to keep a band going.
He's probably very difficult to work with. I feel like he's probably the sort of person who is in a million directions at the same time, and you can't get him to sit still and actually focus on something like collaborating on a book.
Yeah, perhaps, but you know, he's put out now. This is the second documentary about his abuse.
Yeah,
or where it at least covers his abuse. Mm-hmm. One more specifically about how the two of them were graped in Hollywood, right? So I don't know, man. You know, and there's the headline to try to get people to watch this, you know, and we're talking about it and that's fair. So it worked to that extent. It's, you know, understandable. You got your little hot button, you know, Molly Bloom. It was Toby asking her to bark like a seal, and my book, which nobody has heard of, is Peroxide.
Well, it's probably that that Toby pulls his dick out on set. That's probably it. That's probably the thing. I'm surprised nobody's talking about that.
Well, Cosmic Orgy said you watch
detail.
Charlie's propaganda. It's only fair to watch Feldman's. All right, we'll watch it. Yeah, we'll watch it.
You convinced us.
Hey, man, Charlie Sheen's doc was good. You know, he didn't run away from the issues that he is sort of under fire for at all. It's not like he went in there and, you know, I mean, he made the same excuse that I would make if I were in his situation too, if it were true. We just talked about it earlier. You know, substances change the way you behave.
Yeah, that's true.
And is he a raging, complete fucking lunatic asshole, sexual predator and other things? You know, coked up and whatever else he was doing? Probably, yeah. You know, is he that kind of man sober? Probably not. Can he stay sober? Who knows? But there's probably Charlie Sheen, the guy who showed all the promise to be a great person and a great actor and a great person and a great filmmaker. And then there's Charlie Sheen who let the fame get to his head, let the money get to his head, let the hedonism get to his head, and you know that leads to corruption and leads to darkness, the blackening of the soul. You know, it really is the blackening of the soul, in metaphorically speaking.
Well, you say blackening of the soul, but one thing that I found was really remarkable from Charlie Sheen's documentary is he didn't seem at any point of his life to be a liar. If somebody asked him, what the fuck is your problem? He was like, oh, I'm like super high on drugs and I can't stop spending money on it.
Yeah, even in his press,
yeah.
he
all the time he was always being really, really honest about everything that he was doing.
But it doesn't mean he wasn't a liar. It doesn't mean he's not lying about some things and you're not sitting here and
I think what he lied about was whether he could control himself. Like I think any addict or anybody who's like a gambling addict, like anything like that, they always lie to themselves about their abilities. So he was probably lying to himself, but he didn't ever seem like the sort of person that lied to other people. And for somebody who was like so far off the edge of self-control, I actually find that really admirable that he at least kept telling the truth. He was like, yeah, I'm a mess, but I don't care. Like, I'm going to keep doing it. Fuck you. You know? Like at least nobody was being lied to.
By the way, I didn't say hi to Lee, and I just remembered that I saw Lee here. So I just want to give a shout out to Lee, because it's always good to see Lee. Corey Feldman says, Shannon, Corey Feldman put veto effort into Dancing with the Stars. Huh. Corey was pissed he got kicked off before Andy Richter.
But Andy tried. Yeah, so that's probably why you don't see other things from Corey Feldman. I don't know whether he has the focus to be able to put effort. Like, if I feel like, okay, you're like an extroverted little kid. You get opportunities to act. You do a really great job. And then that's what you do as a kid. But when you get older, I mean, you can't just rely on that. Like people are actually asking you to do creative work. There's a ton of...
He was so fucking good when he was a kid too.
I know. He was like totally liberated, carefree, and he nailed it every time. But I think that there's a lot of child actors that sort of parlayed their you know, like Fred Savage became a director. It was like a bunch of other child actors, they became producers. You know, they just continued to do creative work behind the scenes because they took what they learned and they started to be creative, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that he ever had the focus to be able to do that because they just kind of wanted him to be the little clown on screen and like sing and dance. And now he's still trying to do that, but nobody's using him for that anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. I think like, you know, he's one of those child actors who like ended up, you know, where he found a certain level of inhibition as a child.
Yeah.
And so he was like he was very natural and he was able to come into these roles and just be a kid because they were like, just be a kid and hang out with your friends and say these lines, you know? And
yeah, totally. It must be so much easier as a kid. Like I remember when my social anxiety started. But before then, I was just a kid, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I think, you know, as he became jaded and as he became, you know, and been asked to start doing more as an actor than just, you know, be a kid running and playing or finding something scary, he started seeing the challenges perhaps, and this is all just speculation. But then, you know, the real sort of like sort of limitations that he had as an actor started to really probably show. And so he started to get lesser opportunities because he had perhaps very narrow range that he could play that and that range became less and less appealing because he was kind of an endearing young man, you know? the way in which he interacted with the other boys, and he was just a great cast member in that respect. But
yeah, you always want like the smart aleck kid, you know.
Deanna called him a broken man, and he is. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, it's very clear. I mean, I was looking up the Spielberg thing, and then his net worth hit me. Do you know what he's worth?
No, why would I know that?
Just give it a fucking shot. Just put
No.
it, knowing how fucking ridiculous rich people can get.
I won't.
Come on, just put out a number, any number.
No,
Just give me a number.
I don't even like numbers.
Come on, play.
What are numbers anyway?
They're numbers to help. I'm setting this up. I want to give this contrast. Think about the most you think he's probably worth. Like, how much more can he be worth? Like, the most that guy could be worth in your mind. What is it?
No.
Angela, participate.
You want me to guess?
Yes.
I don't know these things. I don't know what
The
people
most
are worth.
in your mind, just in, but it doesn't matter. You don't.
I don't
it
know
doesn't
about
matter.
rich people.
Okay.
Super fucking rich.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I won't be surprised that he's super fucking rich.
Okay, so how much do you think?
I don't know.
Throw a number out. Just throw a number out, and I'll give you.
You
the
throw
real
a number out.
No, just throw a number out of your head. Okay, fuck you. I'll ask the other people. Hey, throw out a number. What do you think? Don't look it up. What do you think Steven Spielberg is worth? Just throw it out a number. Anybody.
He should be rich.
Oh, he's fucking rich.
He made really, really great movies.
He's rich. He's rich. Any number. Throw out a number. Angela's not participating, so I'm waiting for you guys. I'm putting this whole show on hold until I get.
What do we got here? Nobody's guessing.
Nobody's guessing.
You're on your own. You better just
Come
dish
on. Why does everybody side with you? Come on.
Oh wait, hang on. Maybe.
You got it on. You don't have a live chat.
No, I'm on live chat. Still, nobody's guessing.
Come on. Don't leave me like this.
Just say it.
$200 million says happiness is in your life.
200 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is it? Is it more or less than $200 million?
Tanner asks, isn't he a billionaire?
Is he a billionaire?
$7.1 billion.
That's a lot.
$7.1
7?
billion.
Wow. So when people talk about the billionaires, they never mention Steven Spielberg.
He never comes up. I never heard of this. I looked at him like, excuse me? According to Forbes.
Is that money he has? I mean, I don't even know how it works.
And now it's at $180 million.
Nope.
He made $100 million in interest today.
Yeah, that's crazy. $7 billion.
$7 billion.
What's he going to do with all that?
I don't fucking know. I don't know what anybody does with $7
Hoard it,
billion.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
Whole lot of nothing, I guess.
he's fucking 80 years old and he's still getting paid. I got thrown, I got like people called me up because I was like, why does Steven Spielberg charge for his books? I mean, sorry. Why does Stephen King charge for his books? Why?
Because he writes them.
He's
That's
worth
why.
hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. He doesn't need any money. He needs readers because he loves readers.
Yeah.
Why? Why fucking do it? Why? What do you get?
If you had,
You don't need anything.
If you had $7 billion, would
Yes.
you perform all of the work that you do for free forever?
If I wanted, I wouldn't do work. So yes, whatever I'm going to do.
You would do creative work. If you had $7 billion,
Right, but I
you
would
would
do-
do
but
more
then-
creative work than you've ever done
But
in your
I
life.
mean, everything is work, right? I get up in the morning, it's fucking work. I'm saying like, if I'm not going to with $7 billion do anything I don't want to do.
Yeah.
So if I'm doing what I want to do, I mean, I want to cook cooking is work, right? If I want to make a movie, and I do, making movies is work. It's not like I don't sit there and be like, oh, fuck, I need an exchange for my labor because it's my joy. I'm only doing my joy. I'm a billionaire.
You know, it would be so great if you had $7 billion, you would make many like $200 million films, but they would just be like $100,000 films.
Where is this guy's
Listen, your
Yeah.
films would be like $200 million films, but they would basically just be like $100,000 films.
Right.
That you just paid everybody an enormous amount to do.
Yeah, like I haven't seen it yet, obviously. I don't even know. I guess it might be out now, but the Taylor Swift Eras Tour thing is on.
Yeah, she gave everybody bonuses, right?
It wasn't just bonuses, dude. It was their share of the tour.
Okay.
She dropped $192 million on her crew.
Fucking awesome.
On her fucking crew.
I know. So like people would be clamoring to work with Dale Wheatley once you become a billionaire because you would just spread the wealth.
I definitely would. I would not hoard money because I don't need it.
Yeah, that's true.
I need very little. I just need, we don't have a home that was our own. I need money for that.
Mm-hmm.
I need money for clothes and food.
And then everything else is
PS5. I want one. I do.
some cozy socks.
Yeah.
You know, the nice ones.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
The real
So-
fluffy towels.
Yeah, I
Instead of these scratchy fucking things
I
from
need
like
one
the
more guitar.
1900s.
I need one more guitar. I need a good like humbucker machine, you know?
Uh-huh.
Oh my Lord. You got anything?
Mm-mm.
Really?
No, I was in the kitchen all day where I belong.
Yeah, dude. Angela
I
made.
keep making this joke, but it's true. It's every now and then I want to cook something really elaborate, and so I decided to make red beans and rice. But the recipe was like, okay, this cook will take 2 days. I was like, I'm in, I'm locked in.
My last thing I have two things, and I guess I'm leaving a little bit on a sour note. The first sour note that I'm leaving on, it's a little bit of a sour note, but it's just been troubling me all day. Not in a. I've been really thinking about Conan O'Brien today a lot.
Yeah.
And the reason I've been thinking about him a lot is because what we know is that Nick Reiner and Rob Reiner had a shouting match. And we know prior to that shouting match and we know that they left after that shouting match. Prior to that shouting match, we know that Bill Hader was interrupted by Nick and that it was a very uncomfortable exchange to the
Several other people too. I don't know why they're singling out Bill Hader in the press. I think that's kind of not very
I'm
nice.
just going by what we know.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
saying what we know is that he had done this. So my imagination immediately, or like my sort of, I guess my little common sense, like connect the dots inside, you know, Nosy Jones, if you will.
Nosy Jones.
Started putting things together and started saying, well, wait a second. Did Bill Hader go, who the fuck is that guy staring me down and making me nervous? Hey, Conan, who the fuck is that guy? Who's that guy? That's Rob Reiner's son. Really? Because he just fucking, it kind of freaked me out. Like he looked like he was going to fucking kill me or something like that. And then Conan O'Brien heard, oh, he's somebody else. Like, hey, what the fuck is with that? Who is that guy? Why is he weird? Blah, blah, blah. Because apparently he was milling about the party and being disruptive to the party. And then, just to let me finish, then this guy, eventually Conan, this is my imagination, right? Only Conan goes to Rob, I got to ask you, bro, like you got to do something with your kid. Like your kid is freaking people out. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's a Christmas party. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's a 32-year-old man. So he probably was like, hey, Rob, is it cool if I kick your son out?
Or something like that.
Because like he, you know,
but it's an embarrassment to Rob Reiner, right? In front of the entire comedic world, right?
Because nobody would assume that he's his son's keeper. I mean, he's a grown man. So like, you can imagine him being like, hey, I'm going to ask you out of respect, but I'm going to kick this kid.
Sure. I mean, I guess we can imagine into the details, but just fundamentally speaking, Conan says, this kid's got to get out of, you got to ask you to, take care of this. Either you got to take care of this or I got to take care of it. Because Conan would be respectful about it and say, hey, it's your kid. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
What I was going to say is that apparently people had thought that he had just wandered in off the street because he was acting so...
Right. There was talk of that.
Yeah. He was making people super uncomfortable and being really intense. And
so my thoughts are just with Conan, because if there's any chance that Conan O'Brien went to Rob Reiner and said, you got to get him out of here, this is a problem, and then that triggered the yelling match between his son and himself, that would later then, of course, have escalated to this horrific tragedy, that at the very least, Conan O'Brien would experience trauma, pretty heavy trauma. I think there's a level of trauma for everybody at that party who had any interaction.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, all of the friends of the family and so on, but like particular to that Saturday night affair.
It's so terrible. But the more that people are reporting on their relationship and the people that had worked with them before, getting into shouting matches in public apparently was happening for 20 years. So this may have not been anything new. Maybe it was completely mild that night. It's just like,
I mean, it may not have been new, but it certainly.
No, I'm saying like by comparison, it could be that they had, bad arguments and this wasn't the worst, I don't think that anybody, obviously it's very difficult for people to feel like they didn't have some part in a dynamic that they got involved in, right? Like some role in creating a bad situation. So I don't think any of these people are ever going to feel any better about that, even though it's not really logical for them to feel that way, because obviously they're not involved.
I just worry. I just worry about the trauma. I'm not even thinking about self-blame. Like I'm not sitting there like thinking that Conan O'Brien is probably like at all thinking, oh, I might have, ushered in this tragedy or anything like that. I'm thinking more like just like even the trauma he doesn't even understand that sits there and like haunts him. Like, what happens at next year's, Christmas party when somebody brings or asks to bring their kid, or, you just don't know how these things affect you and the way you feel about or how you'll react to things. I mean, like most of my trauma, I didn't even, I wasn't, I thought I'd handled my trauma as a young man. I thought I dealt with it. I thought like, I got this. I was actually super proud of myself in terms of the way that I thought I handled it. It wasn't until really into my 40s that I started to really put together all the broken pieces that had sort of been scattered throughout my life as a result of the trauma I experienced.
Especially in Hollywood. I mean, I know a lot of people think that these people live really nice, cozy, protected lives, and that's true to an extent. But it's also really kind of fucked up. The whole situation of like where we are in America and how a lot of blame and targeting has happened specifically to Southern California and Portland and these other like Democratic cities. But the film industry has like really, really struggled this year, and a lot of people are moving away from Southern California. So there's a lot of this community that's being broken up, right, out of necessity. Uh-huh. There's a lot of these like wealthy people who are just fleeing the U.S. because they don't want to deal with Trump's bullshit. And then there's obviously there's really, really bad political turmoil because of the administration's targeting of these Democratic cities. And then something like this, like all of that stress is on them from all of these other bigger factors. But then this horrible event happens so close to home, you know? I just feel like it's difficult for these people who are just trying to be creative in an industry that is struggling, where people are getting fewer opportunities and it's harder to get shit done. And then all their friends are leaving for one reason or another. And it's like, then this happens and it's just got to be just really harrowing. I don't know. I just feel really sorry for them. You know, they're just, especially when you're talking about a group of people who are all comedians, like you have to try and like make jolly out of, like, that's your bread and butter, is like to try and make fun of everything. It's got to be real tough, you know? My heart's broken for all of them. And obviously more for, you know, the Reiners than anyone, but just thinking a lot about Conan and thinking about how scarred he must be and how much of an impact that is probably having on him right now as being the host, the guy who's it's a fucking holiday party. He's trying to bring people together. He's trying to have a great time. He's trying to like create, you know, something, you know, a great vibe out of what is ultimately like a really difficult time for almost everybody. And yeah. Do you think he'll talk about it?
We'll see. I mean, I doubt it. I mean, I think you might hear from him, you know, when he's 75 years old, 85 years old or something, and they'll bring up the party, and it's probably going to be more like, I think this is like Chris Walken and Natalie Wood, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, look, everything's been said. I don't have much more to add. So this last thing is kind of interesting. 1,338 mass shootings took place during the 117th U.S. Congress. Democrat members this is in Our Science, peer-reviewed. Democrat members were more likely to tweet about guns after mass shootings than Republicans. Democrats tended to post about community, families, victims, and legislator, while Republicans posted about the Second Amendment, law enforcement, and crime.
Well, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
They had to do a study
Democratic
about this.
Congress members, but this is so important though, because because what science is saying is that, you know, what we suspect, right, is that there's a party line here. But the worst part about it is that party line is speaking to their constituents, right? They're spreading this. Like when we talk about, just a negative influence on your constituents or just on your. So I find this just truly fascinating. The authors note that they were only able to examine a small subset of the variables that might impact an individual's response to a tragedy, like a mass shooting. But they also noticed that another session of Congress might respond differently, and that's a very interesting element. That, you know, when I was checking this article out, I was like, this is really fucking interesting, because it's the state of politics today. It's not the state of the party. It's the state of the politicians.
Yeah.
You know, like they're saying, like, it's almost like science is saying, if you vote these fucking maniacs out of office, maybe society won't be so maniacal. I just found it very intriguing, and I wanted to share it with you guys. It's not like massive breakthrough stuff, but I think it's just really important that we recognize and that we understand where the messaging is coming and where it's going. And yeah, both parties are fucked up. There's no question about that. It's incredibly lonely to have any political values in this country because nobody seems to recognize political values, strong political principles and values, right? Everything is about, the money. Fucking Nancy Pelosi, she didn't want to stop Congress. She didn't want to pass the bills for Congress to stop fucking trading Wall Street fucking stock because she was building so much immense wealth. It was insanity. Mm-hmm. So we have this, all this sort of ubiquitous corruption throughout government. But what is still interesting despite that is that, we have this set of messaging that's going out that is so clearly, it's just so interesting that you have one which is more of a protection of violence, to guard violence, while another is trying to say, hey, this has to change. There has to be change in legislators.
I'm so cynical though. It's like, I don't even see it like that anymore. I've just been like, I've been a voter for too long and I've just seen what little gets done. So I just feel like, okay, so they've all decided that they're each going to wear a different kind of mask so that they can speak to the different kinds of voters that they're trying to keep divided, so that we can be all kumbaya on this side and they can be all, yeah, right, bro, on that side, right? Like that's it. That they're just talking to two different types of people who they know are never going to get along. So they've got that side controlled and then they got this side controlled and they tell you where to, mark the box on election day. And then they're like, okay, good. Now we can keep making money from the lobbyists. You know what I mean? But nothing ever gets done. Nothing ever changes, right? And so like, what good is that? Like, what good is the messaging other than reaffirming and signaling for people like, oh, yes, we do agree with you. Yes, we do represent your values, but nothing ever changes or gets done or, majorities come and go and nothing ever, things are only getting worse. So
yeah,
I'm just too much of a cynic to be like, yep, that's messaging, like it doesn't mean anything other than that.
I support your cynicism and I think it's extremely well-founded. I just, what I find interesting is that you have the corruption, but then you have, because in those party lines, it's the message of the constituent, really.
Okay, yeah, and so, but it's not the will of the constituent, is what I'm saying.
No, right. So
it's the message.
It's the message.
Only.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like, it's so interesting because we're, it's just like in the same way like you would sell a brand for anything, like
yeah, just like selling a brand.
So it's just so disturbing that you have this party line where one party wants to really protect and engage in, or not engage in necessarily, but protect and justify violence through this stupid constitutional idea that was, a constitutional idea that existed hundreds of years ago in a totally different environment.
Yeah, exactly.
For totally different reasons.
Yeah, the well-regulated part seems to have been forgotten. Hinata has a really interesting perspective about Nick Reiner.
Love to hear it.
Hinata said, I know nothing about this guy, but it looks like he fantasized about this violence for a very long time.
Yeah.
A crime of passion is a jealous OJ who trained to use a knife. A man doing that to his parents, he must have thought about it several times.
Yeah.
And so people near him at the party thought that he was capable of that and tried to avoid it.
Yeah.
He probably had a look on his face that was frightening.
According to fucking Bill Hader, he definitely did.
Evidently, he was experiencing a psychotic break.
For sure.
So, like, we've just recently seen the surveillance footage at a gas station convenience store where he goes in around like 4 a.m. or something. He goes in and he buys a drink and he pays for it and he leaves. It's like nothing. But the way that he's casually walking around, kind of like slap feet, like just kind of loosely walking. It's just so eerie knowing that he's capable. That's the night that he committed these. It's probably after he committed this horrific violence because he's wearing the same clothes that he was arrested in. And so, and you see him go up to, he has to wait in line. There's somebody in front of him at the clerk's desk to buy his drink. And he sways constantly. So it's like, if that was the energy that he had at the party, I can see why people thought that his presence was really menacing.
You can also see why Rob Reiner was like, "You're coming with me," because he didn't know necessarily what he was capable of. He probably obviously didn't imagine the psychotic break that was coming.
Yeah, so he had so Nick Reiner apparently was very forthright. He just talked about to some press. I don't know. I mean, we're seeing him talk about it. He's being quoted as talking about how he trashed his parents' guest house, like completely smashed things, broke everything.
Yeah.
And so that's probably what they thought he was capable of doing when he's at his worst. And obviously I'm sure they noticed that his state of mind was not healthy that night. And that's what they were probably thinking he was going to do if they left him at home. Right? But like, you don't think that your kid's capable of doing more than that if you've seen him do that before. It's just really unfortunate. Obviously they were trying their best, but man.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just feel, I mean, it's just, this is one that haunts us all. It's just, it's so terrible. You want anything else in chat, or should we pack it up?
Hanada said the safest part of this story is if the family already knew that he had psychopathy, because he had been admitted to rehab before. They probably had an assessment on his mental condition.
Well, they did. I mean, the daughter, upon finding the bodies, said to the cops that it's her brother likely, and he should be considered very dangerous. So I think that it was. I don't think it was just the body of her father that gave her that. I mean, I think that I think you're right. I think they knew that. I think the family knew that he was certainly in a very bad place, if not, in a psychotic state. Or
Deanne said that Deanne had been to rehab, said that rehab doesn't equal psychopathy. And I think that, I think Hinata was just talking about maybe he'd had a mental assessment, because they'd said in interviews when they were promoting the movie about his rehab and his relationship with his father, the movie that he wrote, that Rob Reiner directed. They were talking about
Charlie something.
Yeah, something Charlie. I can't remember. Being Charlie. I think.
Charlie. Yeah.
Anyway, he was talking about how when he was promoting that movie, they were talking about how they tried everything. So I'm sure he had an assessment. I'm sure he went to therapy and all kinds of stuff. Not anymore. Now he's where he'll get no help. It's so sad. We're not leaving on a nice note, huh?
What was Deanna saying on the? Yeah, I realized I was like, but I didn't want to like carry those over to tomorrow. Particularly like the well, it's Christmas, so we don't have to.
So we're going to talk about dysfunctional families all month long.
Your hearts are already filled with joy, It's Christmas. I don't have to.
It is the dysfunctional family season, isn't it?
Just keep walking past all the damage. Everything will be all right. IMDb only gives The Boost a 6.1.
The Boost?
Out of 10.
What's The Boost?
That was that movie we talked about yesterday with James Woods.
Oh.
That I think everybody should see.
Why are you talking about that?
I just saw it because it went to an old tab. And I was like, 6.1, that sounds a little fucking low. That movie was great.
You got too many open tabs, Dale, in your head.
This from you. All right, listen, you guys. Had a great time tonight. Really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. We'll come back with a bunch more stories tomorrow to dissect and enjoy. Today's Thursday, yes?
I don't know.
We don't have our holiday
today's
schedule.
Wednesday.
I think it's Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
Yeah, I think we're going to pop some popcorn and watch the season finale of fucking Survivor is what we're going to watch.
Oh, that's what we're going to do. That's right.
We are going to figure out a way for you guys to, well, anyway, you're the best. Thank you for coming and joining. I know that, it's quieter now that we have the Baldonis all huddled in there. We got this, like, we had these, what are they, hornets? And we have these like really friendly, good hornets, and we let them, wasps. And we let them build their wasp nests outside our thing because they're great. They eat aphids and they eat.
I don't know why people have beef with wasps and hornets.
Yeah, they don't. They're benign. We're outside. They're buzzing all around us. They don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care. We have a really great relationship with them. So it's really cool. And I have this storage shed out there that I haven't opened in a fucking year, I think. Just haven't been out there or just not working on anything. Anyway, so Angela and we have to do some stuff or whatever. And I take down the hornet's nest every year, or the wasp nest every year, and I just go. Now that
it's freezing, yeah.
And then I place them because there's usually a queen inside. So I'll go and I place them over in the bushes where they can go get their queen and start over, or work on that one or whatever. Because you don't want to have too big of a hive in your fucking window. I mean,
You got to manage your hive.
Got to manage the hive. So I manage it every year, and I'm like, okay, you guys can build here, but at the end of the season, we're shipping it out. So Angela goes and opens the shed because I'm like, hey, can you grab something for me? And she opens up the shed, and the fucking
the interior
wall was just
walls
caked,
of the door
just caked with wasps.
Yeah, and they're all sitting there being like, oh,
they're
let me turn on the light.
Excuse me, it's cold and bright. Can you? What the fuck? It was really.
But
neat.
They still didn't bother anybody.
Oh no, they were totally like, hey, go ahead. What are you looking? I'm like, I'm just here to get this. Is this okay? Yeah, go ahead. But close the door. Would you mind?
People are such fucking babies about
I'm
those
naked
bugs.
here. Jesus.
Every year I'm seeing people post videos about the best way to kill them, and I'm like, or you could just leave them alone.
I don't know why I brought that up. I was bringing it up because of the wasps that were gathered, and I don't know why I was doing that.
I have no idea. You were talking about popcorn in Survivor.
I'm losing my shit.
You went hopped a rail is what happened.
You guys are the beautiful people. We will see you tomorrow, I hope. Good night, you guys.